Cedar Rapids Kernels, that's the good times roll.
Are you ready for Kernels baseball? The Class A affiliate of the world champion Anaheim Angels plays right here on The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. Now, in his 8th season bringing you the fun of Cedar Rapids baseball, here's the voice of the Kernels. He's the one, the only, John Rogers, here on The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Cedar Rapids Kernels, that's the good times roll.
The Independence Day weekend concludes at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's Freedom Festival Thundersticks Day, and the Kernels and Peoria Chiefs meet in the rubber game of a 3-game series. The Kernels rallied with 7 in the 7th on Friday night to wipe out a Chief 4-0 lead. The Chiefs turned the tables on us last night and overtook us in the late going after we led 3-1 going into the 8th inning. On the dugout interview next, the first of a 2-part interview with the Kernels strength and conditioning coach, Clayton Wilson. We're back with Clayton in 1 minute.
You know how it is to have a good friend, someone who stands by you during good times as well as the bad. That's the kind of friend Dave Tobiasen of Family Insurance Center can be. Dave Tobiasen is your Pekin insurance agent in Monticello. Whatever your insurance needs, you can depend on Dave Tobiasen. Dave will settle your claims as quickly and conveniently as possible. See Dave Tobiasen, your Pekin insurance agent at Family Insurance Center in Monticello, for insurance coverages at competitive rates.
Toyota takes another leap forward in material handling efficiency. Top Toyota Lift would like to introduce you to the new Toyota AC electric forklift. AC technology provides unprecedented acceleration, dramatically increasing operator cycle times, thus increasing production. And because DC components are no longer needed, you will significantly lower your maintenance costs. A clean running, dependable unit is the result. Coupled with today's attractive interest rates, there's never been a better time to join Toyota's AC revolution. Contact Hub Toyota Lift in Cedar Rapids, Peoria, Des Moines, and Davenport.
Organization that believe in the value of full-time strength and conditioning coaches throughout their minor league organizations. We've been blessed with some great ones the past several years, and I've noticed that not every major league team believes in having minor league strength and conditioning coaches accompany their teams throughout the season. And we, since this is our first time getting to know you, wondered if you could tell our fans a little bit about your background, because it's a little atypical.
Well, I graduated from Texas A&M Kingsville. There I played football for 2 years. I was also in track and field for 3 years. Once my track and field career was over, I became a assistant track and field coach. Then from there I went into strength and conditioning, and for the university I spent 1 year as a strength and conditioning coach there. Then I sent a resume in to Trent Clark, and he gave me the position as a strength coach for the Anaheim Angels.
Wonderful story, Clayton. You don't have a huge background in baseball, but strength and conditioning in football and track and field are so important. What events, I'm assuming you were a thrower and then coached the throwers, and was there any reservation on your part coming into the realm of baseball having background in football and track and field?
The conditioning is a big thing, and a lot dealing with pitchers, having to go from one, through the innings from 1 to 7, 8, the later innings or whatever. Conditioning plays a very important role, and in football and track and field, we did a lot of conditioning there as well, so it carries over into the baseball.
In other words, even though you didn't play baseball or coach it, you knew that this was a challenge that you wanted to take on and that you could be successful with.
Correct. That is correct.
Clayton, as in the old days, Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris, that movie 61, and it was known that they used to go out on the town, at least Mickey Mantle and Whitey Ford did, after virtually every game and drink too much. It's a fact. Things have changed a lot in the last 40 years. A modern-day ball player, A, there's too much at stake for him to do that, and secondly, these modern-day players, they need to take care of themselves. Mickey Mantle's career was cut short because in his day and age, strength and conditioning was poo-pooed.
Yes, the strength and conditioning and taking care of your body is very important, and it also helps prolong your career. And these younger guys coming up, they are starting to understand that. And with Barry Bonds and stuff like that, you're seeing guys that are just, their careers are just lasting way longer than in the past. And I believe it's through the conditioning and stuff like that, the proper taking care of the body and everything.
Oh, Roger Clemens is another great example. As you mentioned, Barry Bonds, they're having, at least in Barry's case, he's having his best years as he approaches age 40. Clayton Wilson is the strength and conditioning coach for the Kernels. And Clayton, a little bit more about your background in Texas. Texas, and there's an old joke in the other 49 states that it's a separate country. You guys take a lot of pride in being Texans. What is it about being a Texan that you wear that Lone Star with such pride?
Well, I think it's just the way we're raised. As when we're growing up, we're just real close. Our family's real close and everything. And it just, through the years, you just, I don't know, it's just everything, just the background of being Texan is just laid upon you. I don't know.
That's what it is. You're kind of born into it. Now, do you have a special bond with Greg Porter and Quan Cosby, because they're the other two Texans on our squad? Do you guys swap cowboy stories or talk about some of the culture in Texas?
Yeah, we do a little bit, but Texas is such a large state that different regions, and you meet different people, and they're from the north. And so it's a little different from where I'm from.
I got you. You're from the southern part of the state.
Yes, I am. Very, very south. 40 miles south of San Antonio. So it's way down there. We call it northern Mexico.
Sounds good. Clayton, as far as the position players and pitchers, I wondered if there's a great deal of difference in the type of conditioning you do with position players who are out there for the most part every day, and pitchers, starting pitchers who pitch once every 5 days. How do you approach handling them, the difference?
Well, the relievers, they're gonna condition every day. That's just the way it goes. Every day for 6 days out of the week, they get 1 day off, which that allows the body to recuperate. And then with the starters, they're gonna do like a long distance run the day after they pitch, and then they'll do sprints and interval running till the day before they pitch, and then they'll do some quick little jogs or whatever, and then they pitch the next day. And that's pretty much what we do with the conditioning. We try to work on what they would go through on the mound. It takes they'll pitch a ball as hard as they can, and then they get like 8 seconds rest or so between each pitch or whatever it is. And we try to do that with our running. They'll sprint as hard as they can, and for a short distance of time, and then they'll rest for at least 2 times the amount that it took them to sprint that. And that's what we try to work in with the conditioning.
That's known as interval training.
Correct. That is the interval training.
Short spurts of high amount of energy, then double the recovery time, and that is very specific to what their task, which is what you described on the mound. How did you learn that, Clayton? Because you have a track and field and football background. How did you learn baseball-specific training?
Well, a lot of it came from Trent Clark. Trent Clark taught me a lot when I was in Mesa with him last year before I went to Provo. But it also comes from, in track and field, we, to work sprints and stuff, we don't, like if you're going to train for the 100-yard dash, you're going to work on maybe doing 150s. But you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to do like 20 or 30 of them. You'll just do 5 to 6 of them and give it all you can. And you get the better productivity out of that.
Yeah, you're activating that fast twitch fiber. Clayton Wilson on this Sunday afternoon is our dugout interview guest. He doesn't have too much of a Texas drawl from being from northern Mexico down there in southern Texas. And we'll wrap things up with Clayton from the ballpark in a minute.
When we met at Spaghetti, we would never forget Zio Giano's. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. Zio Giano's is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember Zio Giano's with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
In the land of what-ifs, there exists a phrase called, what if I had more money? With a Wells Fargo personal loan or line of credit, you can stop all that wondering. You'll not only get the money you need, you'll save more by consolidating your high-interest debt into one affordable monthly payment. And with flexible terms and competitive rates, we'll be sure to meet your individual needs. Talk to a Wells Fargo personal banker and apply today. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Clayton Wilson, on a hot, humid afternoon like we're experiencing this Sunday, what will you do with the position players and the pitchers to ensure that they can go the distance? And, well, first of all, what do you remind them of the night before or the day of the game? And then what do you do during the game to combat high temperatures and high muggy humidity?
Well, the one thing we do is we stress taking in plenty of liquids. Sorry about that. We want them to drink as much water as they can, especially when the temperatures outside start to get as high as they are. And then as conditioning for the position players, we do primarily sprints. And with the relief pitchers, they'll condition just like normal. I mean, by this time of the season, they should be in pretty good shape, that they can handle the stress from the heat and stuff like that. But we stress taking in plenty of water.
How do you handle normal grousing or complaining that any kid at this level will give to a strength and conditioning coach? You have such a great rapport with the guys, Clayton. You have their respect and their trust, and you know just when to put the hammer down and when to let the reins up a little bit. But do you just give it right back to them and say, come on, we got to get through it, or do you have to be a taskmaster at times?
Sometimes you got to. I mean, it's just... Some guys are going to come out there and just have bad days, and you got to work with them on that. I mean, you got to understand that they're people as well, and we're all out here to do pretty much the same job, and that's win. We're trying to win, and we just kind of work with each other. If they're feeling bad or whatever, if they don't feel like going out and doing the sprints, we work with something else. See what else that they can get done.
You're flexible and you listen to them.
Very, very. You've got to listen to them because they're the ones that know their body better than I do. I mean, I just can point them in the right direction, and they know their body. So...
you can tell by this interview with Clayton Wilson why he is so respected and revered in the Colonel Clubhouse and on the Diamond. Clayton, we're going to pick up right where we left off tomorrow evening as we open a series with Beloit. You're going to join us again on the Dugout Interview. Thanks for this Sunday chat as we get to know you. A $5 gift certificate to any of our Zio Giano's Italian spaghetti houses is yours, Clayton. So much good for so little money at Zio Giano's. The pasta that will make you sing. Clayton Wilson, Colonel Strength and Conditioning Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Up next, the series finale with Peoria. I'll have the starting lineups, Kernels and Chiefs, in a minute.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Budweiser True Music is music created for real music lovers by real musicians, like Tyler Connolly of Theory of a Dead Man.
I know a guy that has actually got a routine he does. He goes, well, from 8 to 10 a.m. I do songwriting, and then from 10 to 11 I do yoga. And I'm like, dude, you can't do that. You just gotta, to me, when it comes to me, it comes to me. I'm not gonna force anything.
This moment of true music was brought to you by Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's a partly sunny Sunday as the Kernels continue a 7-game homestand with the rubber game of a 3-game series against the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals, the Peoria Chiefs. Peoria rallied last night in the 8th inning. They took advantage of 4 walks and an error, only had 1 hit, but they catapulted themselves ahead in the game 4-3, wound up scoring an insurance run in the 9th and won it 5-3 to even the series at a game apiece. The Kernels, with a spectacular 7-run 7th on Friday night, erased a Chief 4-0 lead and cruised home 9-4. This is the 11th and final meeting in the regular season between our two ball clubs. Peoria's won 7 of the first 10. Let's set the starting lineups for the visiting Chiefs first. Their skipper, Joe Cunningham Jr., and Peoria sits atop the Western Division second half standings. They're in a tie with Clinton, both of those clubs with fine marks of 11-6. The Chiefs lead Kane County by a game and Beloit by a game, and they're ahead of the Kernels by 3 games. We're in 5th place in the 8-team Western Division second half standings. Leading off for Peoria, he leads the league in stolen bases, Matt Lemancic. He's in left field. He had 2 bunt singles and scored 2 of the Chief 5 runs last night. At second base, he's 0 for 10 in the series, batting second, Mike McCoy. Reed Gorecki will hit third for the visitors. He's in center field. The cleanup batter's hitting .366 against Kernel pitching this year. At third base, Travis Hansen. He's tied for third in the league with 51 RBIs. John Santor is also hitting .366 against Kernel pitching in 9 or 10 games. Santor bats 5th at first base. John is tied for 6th in the league with a .301 average. Hitting 6th, he belted a 7th inning home run off Kernel starter Micah Posey last night to tie the game at 1. In right field, Jut Heilman. The shortstop hit 7th for Peoria. That's Milko Jaramillo. Tim Lemon will serve as the designated hitter. Lemon, in his 4th season in the Midwest League, bats 8th. Then batting 9th in just 2 games. He's only played in 2 games. The catcher, Andy Ginther. Ginther drafted last month by the St. Louis Cardinals. And some bad news, Tyler Parker, who was struck in the right hand with a foul ball last night, wound up getting x-rays. He's out 4 to 6 weeks with a broken wrist. Well, that's the starting lineup for the Peoria Chiefs. Allen Motor Company. Well, before we give the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, we better point to the man on the hill. My dad always taught me pitching is 90% of the game. Pitching for the Chiefs is a 6'4", 200-pound right-hander, 22 years old, Don Graves. Don is a right-hander, and he was drafted in the 27th round by St. Louis in '99. He lives in Boonville, Missouri. Don Graves has a 6-4 record, a 2.62 ERA, and he's making his 17th start of the year. Don Graves was a 4-0 loser Tuesday at O'Brien Field in Peoria as the King County Cougars blanked the Chiefs 4-0. Well, that's the starting lineup for Peoria. Now Allen Motor Company is proud to bring you the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Inner circle savings abound right now at Allen Motor Company. Just like new, 2003 Buick Centuries right now at Allen Motor Company, half price compared to new. They're just in and they're just like new, low mileage 2003 Buick Centuries. They start at, get this, just $11,995. Just in like new 2003 Buick Centuries, half price compared to new. They start those 2003 Buick Centuries at Allen Motor Company at just $11,995. Allen Motor Company, I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha, or visit them online at www.allenmotor.com, ALLENMOTOR.com. The Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup on this Sunday, July 6th, has Quan Cosby, a switch hitter, leading off in center field. B.J. Weed will bat second. He's in right field. The switch hitter drove in the game's first run last night with a 6th inning single. Weed bats second in right field. All-star switch hitting second baseman Alberto Callaspo tops in the league with a .326 average, will hit third. He's at second base in the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. At third base and batting cleanup for the Kernels is Greg Porter, hitting 5th in the Allen Motor Company starting lineup. The shortstop, all-star switch hitter Eric Ibar. Eric's 5th in the league in hitting with a .305 average. Matt Abram had 2 doubles, scored twice, drove in a run. He was an offensive catalyst for us last night in the 5-3 loss Abram batting 6th as the designated hitter. At first base, he sat out last night's game. Jake Mathis. Jake will hit 7th in the Allen Motor Company starting lineup. Batting 8th and catching from Marion, Iowa, Alex Dvorsky. And rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup in left field, batting 9th out of Miami, Florida, Kevin Jenkins. On the hill is the Kernel leading winner. That's 20-year-old Venezuelan right-hander Jean Toledo. Jean Toledo has won 8. He's lost 4. His earned run average is a sparkling 2.54. Jean Toledo was trying to win his 4th start in a row in his last start Tuesday night in Fort Wayne, and the only thing that prevented him from doing it was just a 1 run that the Kernels managed off 11-game Wizard pitcher Gabe Rebos. In other words, Jean pitched very well his last start. It was Tuesday night in Fort Wayne. He was a 2-1 loser. He went 5 2/3. Gave Fort Wayne 2 runs on 6 hits, struck out 2, walked 4. Jean Toledo, 8-4 on the year, making his 17th start of the year, pitching for the Kernels this afternoon. The umpires, Will Robinson, will call the balls and strikes. His partner on the diamond is Aaron Banks. The Kernels are set to take the field. They're with their Taco Bell baseball buddies. The Kernels are in their traditional Sunday garb, red knit batting practice tops, big white numbers, white trousers, red caps, and red socks. The Taco Bell baseball buddies are running onto the field in their Taco Bell baseball buddies shirts. One kid brought his McDonald's baseball bat from Friday night's game, and isn't it great to see? Oh, there's a little tiny fella running out to the mound with Jean Toledo. A little tiny fella running out to the mound is a Taco Bell baseball buddy with Jean Toledo. What a great sight to see. We have a special guest with us this afternoon. Jonathan Van Fleet is here. Jonathan, welcome. Thanks for being our broadcast partner this afternoon, bud. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Didn't you sing the Take Me Out to the Ball game recently?
Yes, I am.
Well, we're going to have you do it on the air this afternoon. How's that sound?
All right.
Jonathan Van Fleet. We're going to stand with Jonathan here in the broadcast booth because the colors are being lowered and now raised in center field. This is a very patriotic weekend, and the Kernels want to make sure that we honor our independence and honor our country's great strides and progress in all areas over the last 200-plus years. The Stars and Stripes are being raised in deep right center field. There are 3 military veterans saluting Old Glory as she climbs the flagpole. Those 3 men are in uniform. The Kernels are standing out on the diamond with their Taco Bell baseball buddies. I see that one accidentally went with Jake Mathis and didn't get hooked up with Alberto Callaspo, but that's all right. That's going to happen every now and then. This is Kernel Baseball on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Jonathan Van Fleet is alongside. Jonathan, what grade are you going into?
4th.
You're going into 4th grade. Well, now we're going to hear a female vocalist sing the Star-Spangled Banner. Here it is.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The singing of the national anthem here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Taco Bell baseball buddies are going to remain on the field as the color guard will be marching from behind second base towards the third base side. As they do that, let's describe a beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon and thank our friends at Physiotherapy Associates. Physiotherapy Associates have provided great equipment, state-of-the-art equipment to help the Kernels in their injury and prevention duties down in our clubhouse with our trainer, Tyler Waltz. The Physiotherapy Associates are experts in the prevention and treatment of sports injuries. Physiotherapy Associates, a proud partner with the Kernels here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium and on the zone. The Taco Bell baseball buddies are trotting off the field with Colonel Broadcast Assistant Allie Lensko leading them. A little bit later, we'll be checking scores with Allie on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Our broadcast partner today is Jonathan Van Fleet. He's going into 4th grade. Our in-studio engineer is Deb Williams. I'm John Rogers. The fun and excitement of Colonel Baseball is coming up in just a minute.
Household materials such as cereal, detergent, cracker, and Kleenex boxes, as well as the core of paper towel rolls, are known as chipboard. The Solid Waste and Recycling Department reminds you to recycle your chipboard materials by placing them in your blue recycling box. Corrugated cardboard should be flattened, consolidated, and tied or taped into bundles. The bundle must be less than 3 feet long and 2 feet in diameter. Place your bundled corrugated cardboard beside your blue recycling box.
Looking for a sure way to bring your daughter or son the thrill of a lifetime? Then visit Taco Bell and register them for a chance to be drawn as a Taco Bell Baseball Buddy. As a Taco Bell Baseball Buddy, your child will receive a Taco Bell Baseball Buddy t-shirt. Collect autographs from the Kernels and take the field with the Kernel player for the national anthem. Being a Taco Bell Baseball Buddy will provide your kid with an unforgettable feeling of excitement. All it takes is a visit to Taco Bell.
Jonathan Van Fleet is alongside. Jonathan, you told us you're going into the 4th grade at which one of the elementary schools in Cedar Rapids? Harrison. And who's your principal there?
My principal is Mrs. Fowler.
Well, I bet Mrs. Joyce Fowler is very proud to know that you're such a good student and that you're with us here on the zone for Colonel Baseball. Now, you and I have a score to settle, my friend. There's a game going on in Wrigley Field right now, and it happens to be the rubber game of a 3-game series. Who are you rooting for?
The Chicago Cubs.
The who?
The Chicago Cubs.
Well, I'm a lifetime Cardinal fan. And I'm not rooting for Peoria, and they're a Cardinal affiliate. But we're together on the Kernels, aren't we?
Yep.
You got your Cubs shirt on.
Yeah.
You know, Jonathan, when I was in Fort Wayne, I saw a fellow with a Cub logo just like that. But you know what it said after the C instead of UBS?
What?
It said C-O-R-K. Cork.
Uh-huh.
I really saw a shirt like that, buddy. Well, here's a speedster. The Cardinals used to build their whole organization around speed with Lou Brock and Willie McGee and Vince Coleman and a host of other great players, Lonnie Smith. Now, power's the name of the game, but this guy, Matt Lemancic, has put speed back in vogue. And he takes outside ball 1. Lemancic scored twice last night. He had 2 bunt singles. He started the Chief 3-run 8th inning when he walked and stole second. He's hitting .287, a right-handed batter. Jean delivers high, ball 2. Matt Lemancic, no homers, 21 RBIs, a league-high 37 stolen bases. He's a tall, big guy. You'd never think he could run like the wind when you look at him. Uh-oh. Ooh, a strike, a letter-high fastball. I said uh-oh because I thought Will Robinson was going to call it high, but it's strike 1. To the Peoria leadoff batter. We're in red, the Chiefs are in blue. The 2-1 from Toledo. Just missed outside, apparently, ball 3. Dvorsky's the Colonel catcher. At third, Greg Porter. Up the middle, the all-star combo of Ibar and Kayaspo at short and second. And over at first on the edge of the grass is Jake Mathis. Jake now takes a couple of steps back onto the dirt. Toledo will have to throw a strike on a 3-1 delivery. He does, and Lemancic pops it foul into the rafters of the first base grandstand roof. Strike 2. Lemancic, Mike McCoy, Reed Gorecki for Peoria. The Chiefs hitting .252 as a team. That's 7th in the 14-team Midwest League. But wait till you hear what they're batting against us. The payoff pitch. Sliced off the end of the bat into deep right. Back goes B.J. Weed. He kind of did a zigzag path to it, but B.J. made the catch near the line in deep right. And good for Jean Toledo. He got behind the speedster Lemancic, but got Matt to tomahawk one in the air down the line in right for the first out of the Peoria first inning. Peoria's hitting .288 against us, but .252 overall. Here's Mike McCoy. Mike's 0 for 10 in this series. He's batting .232, a homer, 29 RBIs. Mike McCoy out of the University of San Diego. Takes a strike at the knees. Jonathan Van Fleet, how many years have you been coming to Kernel baseball games?
Ever since I was 3 years old, so that would be 5 years.
Wow, Jonathan, that's fantastic. A slider inside, ball one. McCoy doesn't wear any batting gloves, and he chokes the bat about 1/4 of an inch. You remember a lot of favorite Kernels. One of your favorites was Double-A manager Tyrone Boykin.
Yep.
Pretty good friends with T-Bone, weren't you?
Yep.
Here's a broken bat roller, a worm burner booted by Ibar. He'll throw, but not in time. An error committed by Eric Ibar, and a runner at first here with one out in the Peoria first inning. That ball got in on the hands of Mike McCoy, a good pitch by Toledo, and Mike McCoy reaches on an error committed by the Kernel shortstop. The Kernels have made 109 errors in 87 games. Well, Jonathan, who were some of your other favorite Kernels who have gone on to bigger and better things in the Anaheim organization?
Phil Wilson, Brian Siever,
What'd you like about Phil Wilson?
Phil Wilson was the one that pretty much taught me how to pitch.
Is that right? Here's a bunt in the air. Dvorsky has it behind the plate. Alex Dvorsky. Jonathan Van Fleet, how does a catcher find a ball when it's popped up behind him? I don't know.
I don't know either.
What a play by Alex. Wow. Reed Gorecki was not bunting to sacrifice McCoy to second. He was trying to use his great speed to bunt his way on, and he fouled one just over the left shoulder of Dvorsky. Somehow Alex took his mask off and found it, and just outside the dirt batting circle. What a catch by Dvorsky on the foul bunt by Gorecki. 2 out. The runner goes. A pitch lifted into deep left center. Quan may not get it. He may not get it. It's a 2-run homer. Travis Hansen does it again. I should have known. Travis Hansen. He's hitting .366 against the Kernels, and he's belted a 2-run homer over the left center field wall.
This isn't good.
No, it isn't, Jonathan. Travis Hansen, I don't know what it is about him and our pitching staff, but he hits everything we throw his way. We're almost tempted to walk him every time. Here's another guy hitting .366 against us, John Santor. A 2-run homer, belted over the .378 mark. It just did make it over the 8-foot-high green padded wall, but nonetheless, the 6th home run of the year for Travis Hansen. And with a man aboard, an early lead for the Chiefs, 2-0. John Santor, last night, played an instrumental role in the Chief victory. He was 2 for 5. He drove in a run in the 9th to provide Peoria with a big insurance tally. Santor is 4 for 9 in the series. Jean misses outside with the fastball. 2-0 Chiefs, top of the first inning. Jean Toledo with the 1-0. Missed away a fastball. Well, Jonathan Van Fleet, Phil Wilson, the 6'8" right-hander, was only 19 years old when he was here a couple of seasons ago. You said he taught you how to pitch.
Yes, he did.
Did he start from a short distance or take you right out to the mound?
No, we actually started right down by the dirt, and I did like a mound line, and then he'd build the plate, and I'd practice throwing, so...
Well, that's great, Jonathan. You remember that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The 2-1 pitch to John Santor is low, ball 3. Well, are you still playing flag football?
No, that was over like a couple weeks ago. It was really fun.
I understand you had a great coach, too.
Yes, I did.
The 3-1 to Santor belted or looped off the end of the bat into shallow center for a 2-out single. John Santor singled off the end of his bat and dumped it into center. Jonathan, go right ahead.
This is not a good start.
No, it isn't. But you know what? You're absolutely right. The beauty of this game of baseball is we could be in for a slugfest. We could be in for a pitching duel after the first inning. That's what keeps me coming back to the ballpark excited every day and night, and I'm sure it appeals to you, Jonathan. We never know how things are going to turn out, do we?
Nope.
Rick Sellers is here, Jonathan Van Fleet. Do you know Rick? He is on K-Memory Radio. He's a good friend of ours, and what's he banging in our ears?
Thunderstick.
From who? The Freedom Festival. Isn't that great? Rick, those are so neat. Let me have those. Jonathan, why don't you read to the folks what is on? You have a set of Thundersticks that you got when you came in, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Well, read away, my friend.
Cedar Rapids Freedom Festival, 20 years of celebrating America in the heartland. www.freedomfestival.com. Presented by Wells Fargo.
Well, Nancy Wendler and Rick, that's pretty good proof that good things are happening at Harrison, right?
Yep.
You read very well, Jonathan. We're going to ask Colonel hitting coach James Rowson in a moment how John Santor made it down to second base. His Jet Heilman on a 1-1 pitch taps it to deep short. Backhanded by Ibar. Eric threw the batter out from the hole. What a great throw by Eric Ibar to get Jet Heilman to end the Chief first inning. And James, how did Santor get to second? Okay, I think he got there on a wild pitch, but I'm not sure. We'll say a wild pitch. In the first inning, as Jonathan said, not the greatest of starts for the Kernels, because Peoria scored 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 Kernel error, and the Chiefs leave a runner aboard. And after 1/2 inning on Freedom Festival Thundersticks afternoon, Peoria 2, and the Kernels coming to bat.
What can I help you with here at Big Time Motors?
Well, I'm looking for a used car. I like this one. What's the price?
Listen, lady, I don't sell prices. I sell cars. But I guess if you must know, it's this.
Wow. That's $2,000 more than the one low price on the exact same car at Randy Keel Honda. And I didn't even have to ask them. Randy Keel has the prices posted for every car on their lot.
Well, we've got the best service department to stand behind our vehicles.
Really? Randy Keel showed me they're #1 in service and sales customer satisfaction. How do you know yours is the best?
My manager told me.
Thanks, but I think I'm going back to Randy Keel Honda to get the best price and the best service.
But I could throw in a free air freshener to put over the rearview mirror.
Nice try.
Randy Keel Honda understands what you need when you're looking for a new or used car. They post their prices clearly, so you don't have to guess, and they'll never pressure you. That's why they're #1 in service and sales customer satisfaction. And they just won the President's Award from American Honda. Come find out for yourself. Randy Keel Honda is on Center Point Road in Cedar Rapids, or you can visit them at randykeel.com.
The Crown Plaza 5 Seasons is Cedar Rapids' exclusive downtown hotel. Make plans to experience a spectacular view from the top of the 5. Start your day off with us for breakfast, or make a lasting impression on your business associates by treating them to our signature pasta bar for lunch. For any occasion, enjoy an elegant dinner or Eddie Picard Jazz Trio in the city's only rooftop restaurant. Call 363-8161 for reservations.
With our guest, Jonathan Van Fleet, the Colonel's ready to take on Don Graves, short for Donovan. Graves is a good pitcher. He's 6-4, making his 17th start of the year. He's 22 years old, Donovan Graves. Before Quan Cosby steps in, we want to thank our great friends at Jungie Automotive Group. Jungie Automotive Group has a beautiful black and red Trivision sign here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, and you also hear about them between innings throughout the season during our broadcast. Jungie Automotive Group. Jonathan Van Fleet, let's have you read where the 4 Jungie locations are.
Jordan Ford in Center Point, John Lincoln Mercy,
Isuzu
on Collins,
Jungie,
Chevrolet, Pontiac, and Anamosa, Jungie,
Chrysler,
Jeep, Dodge, and Center Point,
and Jungie,
And Jungie.
4.
4.
You know, Jonathan, you haven't quite gotten cursive like I have, and that's why I didn't mean to throw you for a loop. 4 great locations, 1 great name, and that name, Jonathan?
Jungie Automotive Group.
You got it. Quan Cosby takes a pitch just high. Buddy, you're still learning cursive, aren't you?
Yep.
Well, I should have known that. It wasn't that long ago I was in 4th grade. A strike and the count even to Quan Cosby, 1-1. Quan is hitting .223. No homers, 13 RBIs. Quan serving as the leadoff batter in the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup this afternoon. 2-0 Chiefs. We're in the bottom of the 1st inning. Quan shoots one hard to the shortstop. He gets it on the second hop and throws in time to get Cosby. Boy, Quan had a good swing and slashed it hard. 2 hops to the left of Milko Jaramillo. Milko gathered it in, though, and got Quan by a step at first. 1 out in the Kernel 1st inning. The Kernels are tied for the league in hitting with Lansing. Each of our clubs are hitting .259. The Kernels tied with Lansing for the top hitting team in the league at .259. B.J. Weed was a top Kernel hitter last night. He had 2 hits and 4 trips and drove in the game's first run with an RBI single to left in the 6th inning. B.J. takes a strike called from Donovan Graves, who's pitched 96 in the 3rd innings and given up 99 hits. Donovan is a tall right-hander, and his 0-1 to Weed is outside a fastball. Graves is not a strikeout pitcher. In fact, his numbers are very similar to Jean Toledo's. In 96 and a third, Graves has fanned 48, walked only 17. His changeup is in the dirt, ball 2. Donovan Graves is wearing a long-sleeved blue shirt underneath his blue knit Peoria top. The Chiefs with navy blue caps. The only trace of red on this Chief ball club is a touch of red in the logo, the emblem on their cap. Here's a drive smacked into left field, but Lemancic takes 3 steps back, reaches high, and makes the catch. Oh, Jonathan Van Fleet, BJ hit that ball hard.
Yeah.
He lined it into left for the 2nd out of the inning. Alberto Callaspo had a 10-game hitting streak snap last night. Alberto still leads the league with a .326 average. 2 home runs, 40 RBIs. Alberto is 2nd in the league to Peoria's Travis Hansen in doubles with 24. Donovan Graves delivers outside, ball 1. One thing about Graves, he already reminds me of a young Kenny Hill. Here's a pitch driven foul, conking off one of the windows of a third base suite. Kenny Hill was a great pitcher for the Cardinals, Expos, and Angels, and he bent his elbow when he delivered. It was a bent elbow delivery, and Graves has the same type of mechanic. Callaspo falls in the hole 1 and 2 as he drives one foul into the net, strike 2. 2 out, nobody on, bottom of the 1st, 2-0 Peoria. Jonathan Van Fleet, a 4th grader at Harrison Elementary School, is a lifelong Kernel fan. Sorry about that, Jonathan. Just making sure you're listening. He's a lifelong Cub fan. He loves to give his grandfather, John Van Fleet, a lot of grief because your grandfather, Jonathan, and I, we're born bleeding Cardinal red.
Yeah, you are.
You don't seem too pleased about it. Here's the 2-2 to Callaspo. Ground ball, Graves knocks it down, bare hands, picks it up, throws out Callaspo. Donovan Graves took a base hit away from the league's leading hitter by knocking down that sharply hit grounder back to the box. It rolled to his right down the side of the slope. He recovered and threw out Callaspo. The play went 1-3. The Kernels are retired in order in the bottom of the 1st inning. And after 1 inning on this 4th of July weekend, Peoria leads the rubber game of a 3-game series 2-0.
If you're looking for something, there are many helpful tools. A telescope? When you're looking for something big. A microscope. When you're looking for something small. Or bare feet.
Oh.
When you're looking for lost Legos. But if you're looking for a family doctor, the most helpful tools are your telephone or your computer. Simply call Mercy Care Family Physicians at 369-4444 or visit our website at www.mercycaredoctors.com for all the details on the Mercy Care Family Practice location nearest you. You'll find the Mercy Care Family Physician best suited to your needs, including those who offer special services for... So if you're looking for a family doctor, choose the right tool for the job. Call 369-4444 or on the web at www.mercycaredoctors.com. Looking for a family doctor has never been easier.
The games that became classics. The moments that became history. The athletes that became legends.
Here's Michael at the foul line. The Bulls win!
They're all on ESPN Classic. This is where past generations remember the greatest in sports history and where the next generation can experience it all for the first time. Call your cable or satellite provider and experience ESPN Classic now.
It's 2-0 Peoria as we go to the top of the second inning, and Jonathan Van Fleet is with us. Jonathan, can you spot where your mother, Cedar Rapids Baseball Hall of Fame member Greta Van Fleet, is sitting?
I know where they sit, but I can't see her.
Well, let's do this. Say, Grandma, wave up here.
Grandma, wave up here.
Well, let's look for her. I don't see her waving yet, but we'll keep looking for Greta Van Fleet. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Jonathan. She's right underneath. There's Grandma. Here's a high pop fly into left field. Kevin Jenkins is lumbering over near the line, and Kevin Jenkins catches the first pitch swung on by Milko Jaramillo. Jaramillo flies out to left. Jonathan, we've spotted your grandmother. She's waving from right behind. She's sitting, I think, next to a couple of other folks that are listening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with those nice people, but they're waving as well. Jonathan Van Fleet's grandmother, Greta, really an inspiration to all of us with her tremendous energy. That's when I think of Greta. She's a doer. She gets things done. A slider, a strike call to Tim Lemon. Tim didn't play in last night's come-from-behind Chief victory. In 7 games, he's hitting .261, a right-handed batter, and he tips one foul, dribbling it to the left of the dirt batting circle. John Toledo is ahead of Tim Lemon. No balls, 2 strikes. Tim was a member of that vaunted Midwest League Championship team a year ago that eliminated the Kernels in the semifinals of the Midwest League playoffs. Lemon, in his 4th year with Peoria, a .224 lifetime hitter, just 22 years old, was drafted out of high school in '98 in the 2nd round by St. Louis. John wastes the pitch down and away. Well, Jonathan, if somebody who we know a lot of the Kernel players' parents listen all across the nation on the internet, describe a little bit about this ballpark as we go along in the 2nd inning. I want you to point out some things that you like about it as a young fan going into the 4th grade. The 1-2, low and away. Go ahead, Jonathan. What do you like about this new stadium?
It's just beautiful. It's more beautiful than the old one.
Yes.
That was kind of getting a little old.
A little old and dirty. Ball 3 in the dirt. How about leg room in the seats?
The leg room's more good.
How about the food?
The food, yeah. Food's better.
Okay. How about the getting autographs from the Kernel players?
Yeah, that's easier too.
Well, that's great, Jonathan. Toledo was ahead 0-2. Now Jean's payoff pitch is swung on and missed. Jean Toledo with a sinking fastball put it right underneath the hands of Tim Lemon, and Tim waved at it. Strike 3. 2 gone in the Chiefs' 2nd inning. The Kernels trail Peoria 2-0. Here's Matt Lemancic. Matt was 2 for 4 last night. Or no, this isn't Matt Lemancic. This is Andy Ginther playing in just his 3rd game for Peoria. A strike is called to Andy Ginther. Will Jonathan continue with your description of this beautiful new stadium?
The scoreboard is better. I like the big screen on top of that.
So do we. Ginther tips one foul to the on-deck circle, and he's in the hole 0-2. Jonathan, how many times bigger do you think that screen is out there, the Rockwell Collins game link, than the television you have at home? Just a guess.
2 times as bigger?
Yeah, I'd say so, because you have one of those big screens that you watch football games on, don't you?
Yeah, baseball games.
I'd say that thing's about 75 times bigger than my TV, because I have just a normal-sized TV. Ball 1 outside to Andy Ginther, the catcher. A curve, and he slaps it foul into the Chief railing of their third base dugout. Ginther is in the lineup for the third time as a Chief. He was drafted last month, out of Columbia State. And he's playing because Tyler Parker, the regular catcher for the Chiefs, broke his wrist last night on a foul tip. A curve, it looked like it's called strike 3. I don't know where Will Robinson ruled it, but it sure looked good from here. Boy, the Kernels look sharp in their red knit batting practice tops with all red caps. Blue inscripted across the front in blue letters, Kernels. Swing and a miss on a slider. Joan Toledo retired the lower third of the Chief order in the top of the second inning. As we go to the bottom of the second, the Chiefs lead the Kernels 2-0.
Where were you earlier for the Dan Patrick Show?
Actor Tim Robbins joining us on ESPN Radio. Did you take any character in mind when you came up with the character or added to the character of Nuke LaLoosh?
Oh, yeah, he's a kind of a combination between Fernando Valenzuela and John Travolta.
Okay, I knew that breathing through the eyelids would be Fernando, but where did the Travolta part come in?
The walk and the white suit.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekdays on ESPN Radio.
The all-new Ellis Golf Course is ready for play, so let's mark the occasion with some rounds on the house. Visit Twin Pines, Jones, or the Ellis Pro Shops and mention the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. Register with the staff, and if your entry is picked, you play, no pay. Ellis is now open. Make your tee time now. All 18 holes have been redesigned. There's a new driving range and a fully merchandised pro shop. This beautiful new facility is truly the signature golf course for Cedar Rapids. Experience the all-new Ellis Golf Course for yourself. Cedar Rapids Municipal Golf, serving your needs to a tee.
It's a fast-paced world. Things change at the speed of sound, yet some things never change, like your desire to deal with a solid, dependable car dealer. Zimmerman Ford has been around for 31 years. They still deal with a handshake and a promise to be there after the sale with quality service. Zimmerman Ford Town is Eastern Iowa's largest volume Ford dealer, and you don't get that way without being rock solid. Check them out on the web at FordTownUSA.com or in person on First Avenue in Cedar Rapids. Ford, BMW, Hyundai, and Mitsubishi at Zimmerman Ford Town.
We go to the bottom of the second inning, and Peoria struck for a pair on a two-run homer. Opposite field clout by Travis Hansen, his sixth of the year in the first inning. The Kernels hit the ball sharply 3 times, but at Chiefs in the first inning. So let's see if we can make some headway against right-hander Donovan Graves. Donovan will face Greg Porter, the Kernel cleanup batter, to start the Kernel second inning. Greg Porter, in 31 games now as a Kernel, is hitting .281. No homers, 13 RBIs. Greg was 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Greg, a left-handed batter. We understand his folks sure enjoy listening to our broadcast down in Texas. Jonathan Van Fleet, I don't know if you can remember. You probably can't when you were a real little toddler before you moved to Cedar Rapids, but I want you to share with our listeners the name of the city that you were born in and grew up in. It's one of the most unique.
I was born in Marshfield, Michigan.
Oh, a 1-0 to Porter is slapped foul down the left side.
And I was raised in Arizona, Bullhead City.
That's what I wondered. Bullhead City, Arizona. I'd never heard of it before till I heard you lived there. Porter rips one foul to the base of the screen. It is in the hole, 1-2. Nobody on. We've just started the Kernel second. Nobody out. 2-0 Peoria. The Chiefs have already won the season series against us. They've won 7 of 10. A pitch in the dirt, and it's ball 2 to Greg Porter. Well, Greg's been given the responsibility of manning the hot corner for the rest of the season. Matt Brown is flourishing at Provo in rookie ball. Ball 3 is low to Greg Porter. Can you believe our opening day starting third baseman was Justin Hancock? Justin was sent back to extended spring training to get his swing back. A payoff pitch to Porter is ripped foul into the screen. Greg has 16 hits in his last 42 at-bats. That's a .381 clip. He's seen the ball very well. Speaking of Matt Brown and the Provo Angels, Provo is 9-9 in the first half of the Pioneer League season. Greg rams another one foul straight back into the net. Boy, Greg Porter's having quite a tussle with Donovan Graves, a 6-game winner for Peoria, a 4-0 loser last Tuesday at O'Brien Field against the Kane County Cougars.
And Greg was one of my best buddies, too. I forgot to mention him.
Well, that's great, Jonathan. He launches one high and foul outside third. That'll reach the lawn section. A kid brought his glove, but unfortunately an older kid took that ball off the lawn. Jonathan, Greg Porter's really nice to kids, isn't he?
Oh, yes, he is.
Always has a big smile on his face.
Oh, and Johnny Rayburn, that was here last year.
Johnny Rayburn?
Yeah, Johnny Rayburn.
Yeah, good little second baseman with the Brewers now. Another swing and a foul. My goodness, Greg Porter and Donovan Graves are each refusing to yield. Donovan won't walk Greg, and Greg won't let that third strike get by him. Some individual battle between the right-hander and the Colonel cleanup batter, Greg Porter. Here's another 3-2. A high deep drive to center, way back. Oh, it's caught in front of the 400-foot sign. Greg Porter absolutely pulverized that 3-2 pitch. How that ball didn't leave the ballpark, I'll never know, other than he hit it to the deepest part. Jonathan Van Fleet, he absolutely creamed that 3-2 pitch.
I thought it was gone.
Jonathan, I did too. I thought it was gone. Greg Porter pinned Reed Gorecki right up against the 400-foot sign in center, and Reed caught it. What an at-bat for Porter. Here's a bunt attempt by Ibar. That's good to see. Eric, though, fouled it straight back. Strike one. Eric Ibar at the plate. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Peoria. Jonathan, describe what Mr. Shucks is doing down below right behind home plate.
He's sitting with a little kid watching a baseball game.
Yeah. That little kid's going to be our Culver small fry between innings. Mr. Shucks has a little fella resting right on his left knee. Ibar serves one foul off to the left. Eric's in the hole 0-2. And he takes a pitch in the dirt for ball one. Eric Ibar hitting .305, fifth best average in the league. Eric with 4 homers, 42 RBIs, leads the Kernels in steals with 19, 0 for 4 last night. Another changeup, and it's in the dirt again. Poor Andy Ginther is getting a workout in just his 3rd game as a Peoria Chief. Remember, Tyler Parker was struck on a foul tip last night. He shook his hand. We knew he was writhing in pain. They took him for x-rays after the game, a broken wrist. A pitch bounced to the right side. Over to his left, Mike McCoy has the chopper, and a short throw to first gets Eric Ibar. Eric Ibar pulled a 2-2 pitch and bounced it to the right side, where second baseman Mike McCoy flipped it for the out. Well, Mr. Shucks is making some new friends. Allie Lensko, do you happen to have our camera? Oh, that's okay. We'll reload it. That's all right. Mr. Shucks making some new friends down below. Oh. Well, here's a pitch low. Ball one to Matt Abram. Abram hitting .200. But that's deceiving because Matt has really helped us with the bat already this year. He hits a high, deep drive to left to cut the Chief lead in half. Jonathan Van Fleet, what did it go over? What did it go over?
It went over the deck in the hot tub.
It went over the deck in the hot tub. After we had said that Abrams' 200 average was misleading, he made us look like geniuses as he plugged one, belted one, socked one, whacked one over the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. And that's Matt Abrams' 3rd home run, and it cuts Peoria's lead in half. It's 2-1 Chiefs. Matt Abram, as Jonathan Van Fleet described it, has belted one over the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. And Jonathan, I think our fans knew what to do with those Freedom Festival Thunder Sticks, didn't they?
Bang 'em!
Yes, they did. And bang one is what Matt Abram did. He hit one way out of here over the left center field wall. Now Jake Mathis, who didn't play last night, took a strike and now takes a pitch in the dirt. Ball one. Matt Abram in 12 games has 3 home runs. That's terrific. Jake Mathis, a left-handed batter, looks at a strike at the knees. Jake hitting .243, 3 home runs, 28 RBIs. Jonathan Van Fleet is alongside. doing a great job as a young Kernel fan. Here's a pitch nubbed off the batter's fist to shortstop, and Milko Jaramillo unloads from near the base and gets Jake Mathis to end the Kernels' second inning. But the Kernels have cut Peoria's lead in half on the third home run of the year in just 12 games by Matt Abram. 1 run for the Kernels. On 1 hit, the Abram homer, no cheap errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty. We go to the third. Peoria 2, the Kernels 1.
Life is a process of continuous change. Each of us has to be prepared to adjust to constantly changing events. One way you can make sure you're taking care of all the changes in your life is to visit Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews in Cedar Rapids. You can depend on Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance professional, to give you sound advice on insurance for your home, auto, life, and health. See Phil Andrews at the Weidenhammer Andrews Agency in Cedar Rapids to make your life a little easier.
The ability to read. Nothing's more important in predicting the future success of a child. Thanks to the generous, ongoing support of Toyota Financial Services, Kernel players visited a record 25 schools last spring to encourage children to read, with a series of dazzling rewards from Toyota Financial Services serving as incentives. An all-time high, 1,451 girls and boys read last summer. The Kernels salute Toyota Financial Services.
Only one video game captures the subtlety of America's pastime. High Heat, Major League Baseball 2004. It's the only game for real baseball fans. Play against skilled computer opponents. Pitchers know when to challenge you, when to nibble. Managers know when to let their guys swing away, when to try a surprise bunt. This game captures the essence of the sport. It's also the only baseball game to get the 5-star award from official PlayStation Magazine. High Heat from 3DO. For video game systems and PC, visit highheat.com.
Abram with a 2-out home run over the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion in left has cut a chief lead in half. It's 2-1 Peoria. We go to the top of the third inning, and between the second and third innings here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, little 4-year-old Adam Fultz took the field as our Culver's small fry of the game. Mr. Shucks escorted the Culver's small fry. 4-year-old Adam Fultz out to first base, where Jake Mathis signed his Culver's cap. And then Mr. Shucks presented our Culver's small fry, Adam Fultz, with a certificate, good for a free kids meal at Culver's. Here's a bunt, and it's going to be an error on Greg Porter. There's that weapon again, that weapon we so highly commended last night, Matt Lemancic, laying down a bunt. It would have been a difficult play for Porter, but Greg could have thrown Matt out. Instead, he just couldn't come up with it cleanly between the mound and third base. It's an error on Greg Porter to open up the chief third inning, and Lemancic with 37 steals will likely test Kernel catcher Alex Dvorsky here in the top of the third inning with the Kernels trailing 2-1. Lemancic draws a throw. He's back standing up. You too can have the joy that Adam Fultz experienced between the second and third innings here at the new stadium as our Culver's Small Fry by registering to be the Culver's Small Fry at either of the Culver's Frozen Custard or Butterburger locations. Lemancic draws another throw. He's back standing up. One of the Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger locations is in Hiawatha, right across from Allen Motor Company, I-380 Boyson Road, exit 25. The second is on the southwest side in front of the Windsong 12 Theater Complex on Edgewood Road Southwest. That's where the second of two Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger locations is. And that's where you can register your daughter or son for their chance to take the field as the Culver's Small Fry of the game. Lemancic leading off first was almost picked off. He went, a throw over there, and he was almost picked off again. Well, this has become quite a war of nerves between Joan Toledo and Matt Lemancic, who reached by bunting down the third baseline. Greg Porter couldn't find the handle, and he was charged with an error. Boy, Lemancic put so much pressure on a defense with his 37 stolen bases. Taking high ball one is Mike McCoy. We're in the top of the third, and it's 2-1 Peoria. They have their leadoff man on. The Kernels committing their second error on the infield today. Toledo checks the runner. He's not running. A bunt. Push to the right side. Mathis underhands to Toledo. Not in time. Everybody's safe. Hey, the Chiefs are playing Cardinal baseball. Bunt, bunt, bunt. I love it. Lemancic to second, and Mike McCoy reaches on a base hit. And no, I'm not rooting for the Chiefs. I just admire the kind of baseball they're playing. We don't bunt nearly as much as I thought we might this year, but that's not a criticism. It just means that we have a lot of good hitters on the team. Peoria uses the bunt now, and they have runners at first and second with nobody out. The batter, Reed Gorecki, who fouled out trying to bunt in the first inning. Mike Mccoy knew exactly what he was doing. He has his first hit in 12 tries in this series as he bunted hard to the right side. Here's a curve, and squaring to bunt is Reed Gorecki. He bunts foul to the Colonel dugout, strike one. Well, Jonathan Van Fleet, do you like the bunting game as much as I do?
No.
You like home runs, huh?
Yeah.
I love seeing
Pretty
good bunts.
much.
Bunting is not done enough at all levels of baseball. Is Reed Gorecki trying to bunt the runners over? He was on the first pitch from the Colonel right-hander. Is he now? Yes. The runners go. A pitch high. No throw. A double steal for the Chiefs. A double steal. The Colonels look a bit befuddled as they weren't ready for the runners to be put in motion. The pitch was high to Reed Gorecki, and Alex Dvorsky had nowhere to throw the ball. Nowhere at all as a double steal. No need for a bunt now. No need for a bunt now. A double steal. Oh, that's Cardinal baseball at its best from the 80s when Whitey Herzog ran through opposition in the National League. Now a curve, a strike called. It's 1-2 to Reed Gorecki. So 2 bunts and a double steal, and the Chiefs have runners at second and third with nobody out.
This isn't good.
Well, it could take a turn for the better. Jonathan, we're ahead in the count, 1-2. The Colonel infield back up the middle at the corners they're in. Gorecki hits one to deep right. It'll score a run. B.J. Weed has it, tagging from third and scoring to make it 3-1 Lemancic. On to third goes Mike Mccoy. A sacrifice fly by Reed Gorecki, and the Chiefs have their original 2-run lead back. Gorecki driving in his 41st run of the year, drove one into right, scoring Matt Lemancic from third. Mike McCoy sped over to third. He's at third with 1 out, and now the Colonel infield will come in for the play at the plate. Boy, you bunt effectively in this game, and you're going to reap big, big dividends if you bunt effectively. Now the batter is Travis Hansen. He has a 2-run homer here already today. Hansen, a left-handed batter. And John Toledo hit him. He exchanges words with Toledo and now takes his base. Well, Jonathan Van Fleet, you watch Sports Center every night. We've had way too many fights at the big league level lately, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
No need for a fight now. Travis Hansen, I'm sure I don't know if he was hit intentionally, but I'm sure he was pitched inside intentionally because he's been tearing the cover off the ball against us all season long. Travis Hansen is struck by the first pitch. Now John Santor at the plate. He's hitting .366 against us this season. Jonathan Van Fleet, in a few minutes, well, right now, start in on a story you had about Skydog.
Skydog USA, when he was here last year, I became his best buddy.
Oh, really?
Because I like dogs.
Oh, I love dogs.
And this year he invited me up to Minnesota for a Minnesota Vikings game as his little helper and go out on the field and help him with the dogs.
Wow, Jonathan, that isn't just a story, that's headline news. My goodness, Jonathan Van Fleet, what a treat that'll be. A curve high to John Santor. Now a double play ball to second. Underneath the glove of Alberto, and everybody's safe. It's 4-1 Peoria. Alberto, in his defense, was going towards second to cover the bag because Travis Hansen was running. The ball was hit hard to Alberto's left. He put the brakes on, reached down, and it went underneath his glove for an error. The Colonels should be out of the inning. It should have been an inning-ending double play. Instead, it's 4-1 Chiefs. John Santor reaches on the third Colonel error of this game, and the Colonels need to try to shore things up a bit before we give this thing away. It's 4-1 Peoria here in the top of the third inning. Still 2 on, still only 1 out. That ball went right underneath the glove of Alberto, and you know he's just fuming at himself, but you got to forget about it because the next one may be hit at you as well. Ball 1 is high to Judd Heilman. It's been a nasty inning. The Chiefs have hit the ball out of the infield how many times? Once. It wasn't even a hit, and they've scored 2 runs. They've taken advantage of 2 Colonel errors, and they've gotten a sacrifice fly, the only ball hit out of the infield. A runner tries for third. Now he's in a rundown. Ibar throws to Porter, who misses the runner. Everybody's safe. Everybody's safe. Todd Klaus may have this crew out at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, as bad as we played in the field today. Well, Travis Hansen reaches third. He was picked off second, but he turns it into a double steal. Down to second goes John Santor. And, brother, Jonathan, we need to take a cold bucket of water and drop it on everybody's head to kind of wake them up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're just playing a little bit sleepy out there right now.
Or put some ice down their backs.
Well, that's a little too... maybe so. Maybe they need that jolt, too. No, the guys are trying hard. They just are not playing well in the field right now. The 1-0 pitch is driven in the air to shallow right. It'll score a run to make it 5-1 Chiefs. Weed has it. BJ will throw home, not in time, and Peoria leads it 5-1. A sacrifice fly by Jut Heilman. How would you like to have scored 3 runs in an inning without a hit to the outfield? Well, that's how easy the Chiefs have made it look, thanks to some generous help from the Kernel defense. It's 5-1 Peoria in the third inning. The batter, Milko Jaramillo. The sacrifice fly by Jut Heilman chased home Travis Hansen, who should have been out at third. He was picked off second base, but the Kernels boxed the rundown. They've now charged Greg Porter with an error on that play that Travis Hansen went to third on, so no stolen base, an error on Greg Porter as he dropped the ball thrown from Ibar. Oh, brother, we've made 3 errors in the inning. Ball 1 is high to Milko Jaramillo. We're not out of it. It's only the third inning. It's only 5-1 Peoria. Jonathan, you said you'd rather have a slugfest than a pitching duel, right?
All right.
Well, let's get a slugfest going then. A foul high up into the net makes it strike 1 on Jaramillo. John Santor galloped over to third on the sacrifice fly to right by Jut Heilman. Oh, boy, we wish we could start this inning all over. We really do wish we could start this inning all over. It all started with what? A bunt. Uh-oh, the pitch hits the batter, I think. Milko is upset. He is standing in front of home plate, taking off his batting gloves. And John Toledo isn't making any friends with Peoria. Here comes Eric Bennett out of the Colonel dugout. The Chiefs will send their 8th man to bat here in the third inning. Milko Jaramillo was struck by the pitch. Jonathan, you will be going to the Metrodome as the guest of Skydog USA and his master Rockin' Ray.
Yes.
You know what NFL game? Has he picked one out yet?
Yes.
It's all right. You will be going up to the Metrodome, and you'll be the special helper.
Oh, Packers.
Oh my gosh. You're going to see the Vikings and Packers?
Yeah.
You're pretty calm about it. You know, you're a real good friend of yours sitting next to you, trying to bum a ticket from you. Jonathan Van Fleet will be going to the Metrodome as Skydog USA's special helper. I guess that means that Skydog will jump over your back and you'll help him jump rope and all those neat things he does here. Here's Tim Lemon prolonging this inning. Uh-oh, a deep drive to center, maybe over the center field wall for a 3-run homer. It's over Quan's head for a double at least. Lemon will go to second. He'll try for third. No, he won't. But he makes... now he will. Another error committed by the Kernels. And Todd Klaus may call this team off the field and really lay into them in a few minutes. A 2-run double by Tim Lemon over the head of Quan Cosby makes it 7-1 Chiefs here in the third inning. Milko Jaramillo followed John Santor across the plate, and the double was belted over the head of Quan Cosby to make it 7-1. Lemon was going to stop at second, but he went to third on an error charged to the Colonel shortstop, who I think got a little too fancy. Eric Ibar tried to flip it backhanded to Cayaspo. That did not pay off as Lemon went to third. And doggone it, we're trailing in this game now 7-1 by my count. The 9th man to bat in the inning is Andy Ginther, the catcher. And he takes a pitch outside, 1-1. Well, Jonathan, we got to stay cool. We got to stay positive. I see you. You're as kind of frustrated as I am right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
You live and breathe Colonel baseball just like we all do. The 1-1 to the number 9 hitter is low, leaks out of the middle to Dvorsky, but holding at third is Tim Lemon. Oh boy, 7-1 Chiefs. They've scored 5 runs in this inning on 2 hits, and believe it or not, 4 Colonel errors. Oh, that's a nasty, nasty inning. The 2-1 now to Ginther. Grounded to first. Jake Mathis has it on, and he goes to first himself for the out. Andy Ginther grounds out to first. Mathis unassisted to end the Chief third inning. They sent 9 men to the plate. They scored 5 runs on a grand total of 2 hits, 4 Colonel errors, 2 hit batsmen, a stolen base, and I don't want to get into any more details. It's too ugly to describe. But the good part is we have a lot of baseball left to go here this afternoon. After 2.5, Peoria leads the Kernels 7-1.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. Better is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Papa John's.
Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99.
Papa John's.
Better call Papa.
Benjamin Franklin once said, "Well done is better than well said." Thanks, Ben. At Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, we agree that talk is cheap. But what separates Benjamin Franklin Plumbing from all the others? I must say, I don't know. Well, for starters, a Benjamin Franklin plumber's work begins the moment you make the call. Really? How so? Our call takers are real problem solvers. They'll set up your service appointment around your schedule. And when it comes to the actual work, our plumbers won't waste your time. We'll be there. In fact, if we don't show up on time, we'll give you a Franklin, a Benjamin Franklin, $100 bill. Splendid. You can expect prompt, punctual, courteous service, and we'll be sure to get your approval before starting any work. Now that's my kind of plumber. Benjamin Franklin plumbers are trained to fix your problems so they stay fixed. That's why we're named Benjamin Franklin, the punctual plumber.
Call your Benjamin Franklin plumber at Strictly Plumbing, 373-2524.
Benjamin Franklin, the punctual plumber.
They're all winners. Let's hear it for us.
We go to the bottom of the third. It's a beautiful sunny Sunday, and our great friends from Cost Cutters and City Looks are out in great abundance on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. Jonathan Van Fleet, there are so many great places to take in a game. You're enjoying, I think, one of the best views here in our broadcast booth, but where else do you sit when you come to home games?
I usually sit right over there where my grandma and grandpa always sit.
Okay. You're pointing to the red seats behind the Colonel dugout?
Yes.
How do you like the view
Way
from
up
there?
Nice.
Do you get any foul balls?
No.
Well, you may. Alex Dvorsky is going to lead off in the bottom of the third inning. The Colonels have some catching up to do, but plenty of time to get back into this one. Donovan Graves delivers a strike call to Alex. Alex hitting .237, batting 8th this afternoon in the Allen Motor Company Colonel order. He's belted 5 homers. He's driven in 23 runs. A curve, and it's ripped into left for a base hit. Cutting it off is Matt Lemancic, and he holds Dvorsky to a long single. Now that's the way to line a pitch. Boy, Alex Dvorsky jumped all over that 0-1 pitch and hammered it into left for a leadoff single. Here's Kevin Jenkins. Kevin, playing for the first time in this series in 23 games, is hitting .200, 1 home run, 4 RBIs. Sun shining brightly. Jonathan Van Fleet, can you describe what the plate umpire's navy blue knit shirt looks like on the back?
It looks like he's been sweating. Looks like he's been sweating about 48 hours.
Yes, it does. He is drenched in sweat. Swing and a miss by Kevin. Strike 1. Jenkins, a left-handed batter, uses a 2-tone color bat, a white ash handle, and a black lacquer barrel. The 0-1 to Kevin Jenkins. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Strike 2. Kirby, our good friend from the Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling Department, is down below. He'll be telling our audience this afternoon how to prepare their cardboard and chipboard for recycling. There is a difference. The 0-2 to Jenkins. Low, ball 1. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. James Rowson, Colonel hitting coach, is taking this one in from right next to Jonathan and I. A high deep drive to right center by Jenkins. Way back. It's caught in deep right center by Reed Gorecki. Oh, Kevin Jenkins gave it a ride. He hit it to the deepest part of the park in front of the 403 mark to the left of the scoreboard. Gorecki rode back and made the catch. Kevin Jenkins hit that ball as well as he's hit one all season long. But his deep drive to center was caught by Reed Gorecki for the first out of the Colonel third inning. Holding it first, Dvorsky at 7-1 Chiefs. We're in the bottom of the third. Quan Cosby grounded out sharply to short to lead off the game. Quan, a switch hitter, batting left-handed, facing Donovan Graves for the second time today. Ball 1 is low to Quan Cosby. Those kids that have their Freedom Festival Thundersticks inflated are banging them, trying to get a Colonel rally started here. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the third. The 1-0 to Quan. A line shot into left, I'll be darned. Right at Lemancic, 2 out. Boy, the Colonels are not being fooled at all by Donovan Graves, but so far he's got the luck of the atom ball going for him. That is, the Colonels keep hitting balls right at Chiefs. Quan hit that ball right on the button and lined out to left. Now, Jonathan Van Fleet, describe where the Peoria left and center fielders are positioning themselves for BJ.
They're positioning themselves right to the left side.
Yes.
The left side, and leaving a wide gap in between center and right field.
And it didn't matter as BJ slapped one over the shortstop's head for a base hit. BJ Weed took advantage of that first pitch from Graves and sliced it over the shortstop Jaramillo's head into left center. Even though the Chiefs had BJ defense that way, he still foiled their defense by ripping a single just out of the reach of the leaping shortstop, Milko Jaramillo. Oh, brother, what a great piece of hitting by BJ Weed. As Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach of the Chiefs, comes out to the mound, we want to salute our guests here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium this afternoon, the folks from Cost Cutters and Evans Enterprises and City Looks. They're in great abundance taking in the sunshine on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. Cost Cutters is the place I always go to get my hair cut, and I do that because it's so very, very convenient. No appointments necessary, no hassles, and Cost Cutters makes my life a lot easier. I have other things to worry about besides my hair. That's why I go to Cost Cutters. It's simple, it's easy, and it's quick. No hassles. And we thank Cost Cutters for being such a big supporter of Colonel Baseball throughout the past several seasons. Taking a pitch low is Alberto Callaspo. 2 on, 2 out. And Graves delivers a strike called on the outside corner. The Colonels trail 7-1. We're in the bottom of the third inning. But we have Dvorsky at second. And at first is BJ Weed. Live your life. Cost Cutters always has time for your hair. A looper foul off the end of Alberto's bat is strike 2. Let's go, Kernels. That's what the sound system is piping up on the PA. Let's go, Kernels. 2 on, 2 out. The league's leading hitter grounded back to the mound and the Colonel first inning. The 1-2 from Graves. A grounder to second. Mccoy has it, boots it, picks it up and throws just in time to get Alberto. And that ends the Colonel threat in the third inning. Alberto Callaspo grounds out to second in the third inning for the Colonels. No runs, a pair of singles. There were no chief errors. The Colonels leave a pair, our first 2 stranded today. We go to the top of the fourth inning, and the Colonels trail Peoria 7-1.
Honey, why are you wallpapering? I thought you needed to fix the lawnmower and a bunch of other stuff around here.
This isn't wallpaper. I'm just hanging up my to-do list. Have a lot on your list? Sears can get you through it more quickly by offering easy access to over 4.5 million parts. Call 1-800-4MY-HOME, click on Sears.com, or come into a Sears Parts and Repair Center. Where can you find the right part for all major brands of lawn equipment and home appliances, no matter where you bought them? Sears. Where else?
I cannot be anyone but me. Baby, can't you see I know what's right for me? Don't tell me wrong from right. I know just what I like. Yeah, call me crazy, I don't care. Come feel the joy all around. Each generation has time. They got their own kind of sounds. Come to shout it out. And with that Toya Pepsi.
From Eckersley, Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable! A home run for Gibson. And the Dodgers have won the game 5-4. I don't believe what I just saw. I don't believe what I just saw.
Just a reminder that without sports, you wouldn't believe what you just heard. ESPN.
Johnny, beautiful Sunday. Everything aglow here in the new stadium. The only sour note is that the Chiefs sent 9 men to the plate, capitalized on 4 Colonel errors, and scored 5 runs in the top of the 3rd inning. Peoria enjoys a 6-run lead, 7-1, but plenty of time to go in this one, believe me. John Toledo is going to face the man that reached on an error committed at third by Greg Porter in the 3rd inning on a bunt, Matt Lemancic. Lemancic is 0 for 2 with a run scored. Speaking of scoring, I'm going to give you a number that's astounding. Here's a swing and a miss, a half swing, strike one. The Chiefs, who have beaten us 7 out of 10 times, have now outscored us 68-40. So it's been tough against this Peoria club. But remember, they're much more experienced than our young ball club is. And I don't say that as an excuse, because Todd Klaus would not be pleased with that as an excuse. It's just a fact. Here's a line drive over the head of Toledo into center, and Matt Lemancic has a leadoff single. Matt hit it off the trademark and lined it, a soft liner over the head of Toledo. Jean ducked for cover. I don't blame him, as the ball whizzed by his outstretched bare hand. Jean Toledo, an 8-game winner for the Kernels, is being tested here. Sometimes your defense isn't its best, and you have to deal with it, and Jean's dealt with it as best anybody could be expected to. Mike Mccoy drives the first pitch foul over the Cost Cutters crew on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. Well, Jonathan Van Fleet, you'll be going to the Metrodome for a Vikings-Packer game to be the helper for Rock and Ray and Skydog USA. I wanted to ask you, you said you like dogs. How do you think Rock and Ray trained Skydog to be that smart?
I don't know. He probably uses a lot of dog treats, though.
Oh, dog treats?
Yeah.
I bet he does. Because when a dog does something good, you reward him.
Yep.
And then when a dog does something bad, you withhold the reward.
Yeah, and I have 2 dogs in my family.
And what are their names?
I have one...
The runner goes. A pitch outside to throw to second. Lemancic beat the throw. Matt Lemancic, a one-man wrecking crew, has stolen his league-high 39th base of the year. Jonathan, I'm sorry to intrude on you. What are the names of your 2 dogs?
My little one's Max. He's a West Highland White Terrier. And then I have a Golden Retriever, and his name's Rock.
Rock? Boy,
yes.
That's a cool name. So's Max.
And Rock used to have a mother. Her name was Shay. She died last year.
That's too bad. A curve is high to Mike McCoy. But it's great that you love dogs. I have 2 cats. I'm a cat and dog lover. The 2-1 to the right-handed batter. Ooh, it just missed low, apparently, ball 3. Jean Toledo's in trouble in the 4th inning. The Kernels down by 6-7-1. Jean goes to the rosin bag behind the mound. And he'll try to get Mike McCoy who reached on a bunt single in the 5-run third inning for Peoria. The visitors have dominated us most of the year. This Peoria Chief Ball Club is very seasoned and very experienced. Boy, I bet we'll be glad to see Peoria off our schedule for the rest of this season. Here's the 3-1 to the right-handed batter. Corked foul past third, strike 2. Jonathan, what are those kids getting ready to do down below in the umpire's tunnel? To your right.
They're getting ready for a birthday party.
Yes. Boy, I wish I could have one of those Dairy Queen frozen cakes.
And it looks like 3 birthdays.
Yep. 3 little fellas, probably a little younger than you are.
Yeah.
A curve, and it's pounded foul past third. The count remains full to Mike McCoy. Jonathan, who's that fella running after that foul ball?
Rhodey's, the Roadrunner.
Yep. How old do you think he is?
I don't know, probably 50-something, 60-something.
Darn good. 59 years old. Another payoff pitch from Toledo to the batter. McCoy loops it off his fist into shallow center. Ibar and Kayaspo collide! And Kayaspo held it for the out. Oh, boy. Mike McCoy trying to reach base for the 3rd time in a row.
How did he do that?
I don't know. He looped it off his fist into shallow center. Kayaspo and Ibar, both eager to atone for some misplays they've made this afternoon, tried to do too much. Neither of them would budge, as they both called it. They both speak very good Spanish and pretty good English, but neither of them could decide who wanted it. They wound up colliding in shallow center, but everybody's all right, and Kayaspo caught it for the first out. Mike McCoy pops out to second behind the bag. Here's a line shot into left or right center, a base hit, a runner will round third. He'll try to score. Kwan's throw home may get him. He is out! Out at the plate! Out at the plate! Dvorsky never let Lemancic touch home plate. Dvorsky never let Lemancic touch home plate. And Lemancic was out at the plate on a brilliant throw by Quan Cosby. Joe Cunningham Jr. arguing with Will Robinson. Oh, Quan Cosby with the defensive play of the game. Heaved in a one-hop strike to Alex Dvorsky, who somehow blocked the plate. Lemancic clearly beat the throw, but never touched the plate. And Lemancic was tagged out on a brilliant tag and block of the plate by Dvorsky. An equally spectacular throw from center fielder Quan Cosby. Down to second, the batter who singled into right center, Reed Gorecki, now a ball high to Travis Hansen. Oh, maybe that play at the plate on which Lemancic was cut down trying to steal, maybe that will ignite the fury of the Kernels. Here's the Colonel, the guy that owns our pitching staff, though, Travis Hansen, a 2-run homer in the first, hit by a pitch and scored in the 5-run third. Quan Cosby threw Matt Lemancic out at the plate. Taking second, Reed Gorecki. Lining one foul over the left field or third base stand. Strike 1, Travis Hansen. Well, Jonathan Van Fleet, you and I waited with bated breath before we said out or safe because Will Robinson took a long, long look at that play at the plate.
Yeah.
Did you think he was out or safe?
I thought he was safe.
Well, I kind of did, but the only reason I think he was out, I don't think he ever touched home plate.
He never did.
But I thought he was safe as well until I saw the position of Dvorsky. The 2-1 now to Hansen. Ground ball. Oh, what a stop by Mathis. He underhands to Toledo for the out. Jake Mathis went to his right, backhanded a one-hop smash off the bat of Hansen, knocked it down, recovered, underhanded to Toledo. The play went 3-1 to end the Chief 4th inning. Well, the Kernels escape and now have some momentum perhaps to build on. No runs for Peoria in the 4th inning, 2 hits. No Colonel errors, a man thrown out at the plate trying to score, and Peoria leaves 1. The Chiefs have stranded 3. We go to the home half of the fourth inning. It's Peoria leading the Kernels 7-1.
Who's that cool cooking man? King of the grill, who's your patio? Your patio. Charbroiled, sausage flipping man with the buzz. Who's your patio? Your patio. He only cooks Clements, 'cause it's #1 for taste and fun.
Econo Foods is the place to save on Clements Fine products this week. Shop Econo Foods for hot pricing on Clements.
Jonathan Van Fleet is with us. He's going into fourth grade at Harrison Elementary. He's the biggest Kernel fan I know. Jonathan, I just found out that you celebrate your birthdays here with a Dairy Queen frozen cake. What else does a Dairy Queen kid get when he celebrates his birthday at the stadium?
A big fat cake, I know that. A happy birthday?
Yes, you get your picture up on the Rockwell Collins game link, and happy birthday sung to you. I think every kid in your birthday party gets a Colonel pennant, too.
Yeah.
And I think they also get a hot dog and soda. I know it's a pretty good deal, that I know.
And I also have one down in the clubhouse with the Kernels.
Yes, you do. You're that special. You sure do. We've had a delay. I think one of the Peoria outfielders needed sunglasses. I'm not sure that's the case, but it looks like. Now, wait a minute. There may be a new man taking over at second base for the Chiefs. I think there is. Let's see who that is. It looks like a new fella's at second base. I'm going to try to get my binoculars on him and see who it is. Yes, a new Chief second baseman, Tyler Durham. Tyler Durham is now playing second base. Mike McCoy is now playing shortstop. So McCoy is at short. Tyler Durham is at second. And perhaps Milko Jaramillo was shaken up on that pitch that hit him earlier in this game. Boy, the Chiefs have been racked with injuries lately. They lost their catcher last night to a broken wrist as he took a foul ball off his wrist. Tyler Durham is at second in the fourth inning. Mike McCoy is at short. And I think those are the only changes for Peoria. We have good news. Former Colonel right-hander. He pitched a no-hitter in '97. He set an all-time Cedar Rapids record for strikeouts in a season. Ramon Ortiz last night helped the defending world champion Angels, our parent club, whip Oakland 6-3. Ramon Ortiz is now 10-6. In 6 innings, he gave Oakland 3 runs on 6 hits. And the Anaheim Angels are making a real run in the Western Division standings before the All-Star break. Our parent club is 44-41. Ramon Ortiz, we congratulate the former Colonel who pitched here in '97 for winning his 10th game for our defending champion parent Angels. Greg Porter lined out to deep center, leading off the Colonel's second inning. With the Kernels trailing by 6 in the bottom of the fourth, Greg takes outside, ball 1. I still think we're going to come back and make a real game of this, if not win it. A grounder to second, the new second baseman tested, and Tyler Durham throws Greg Porter out for the first out in the Colonel fourth inning. Eric Ibar grounded out to second, his first time up. Eric is now tied with Jared Abruzzo for the team lead in RBIs with 42. Jared is sitting out this afternoon's game, still recovering from that sore right hand that he bashed against the bat of Milko Jaramillo in the series opener Friday. A strike is in to Eric Ibar, the switch hitter batting left. A right-hander up in the Chief bullpen. Donovan Graves leads it 7-1. A drive into center, I'll be darned, right at Reed Gorecki. Another hard hit ball, but right at Gorecki. Well, Todd Klaus and James Rowson cannot at all be disappointed in the way the Kernels have swung the bat here today. By my count, James Rowson, that's at least 6 hard hit balls. James Rowson has his family here. And it's great that James can get this perspective with his eye infection on the mend. A strike is called to Matt Abram. Abram homered with 2 outs in the second inning to cut the Chief lead in half. It was 2-1 after Abram's home run. Now it's 7-1. A fastball looked good, but it was called outside. 1-1 to Matt Abram. Matt in 12 games hitting .200 with 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. The 1-1. A high fly ball off the end of the bat. Struggling with the sun is Jut Heilman. It's a fair ball, and down the line and right, Jut Heilman has it. Matt Abrams skies to right. The Kernels go in order in the bottom of the 4th inning. And after 4, it's still Peoria 7 and the Kernels 1.
You save big money, when you shop Menards.
Stock up with lawn care and car care savings at Menards. Keep your lawn and garden green with a Nelson oscillating sprinkler on sale for just $7.88. Decorative sprinklers start at just $9.99. A great selection of garden hoses is also on sale at Menards. An 80-foot heavy-duty garden hose with crush-proof couplings is only $14.95. Plus, keep your car or truck looking sharp with great deals on automotive cleaners at Menards. Choose from tire cleaner, interior protected, or cleaner degreaser, just 29 cents after rebate. 20-ounce Rain-X wash and wax is only $2.49. Plus, enter to win a Ford Explorer Sport Track. See store for details. For a green lawn and shiny car, shop Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Remember when you were a child and there was a safety patrol person near your school to make sure you could cross the street safely? Don't you wish you had a safety patrol with you to help you conduct your life safely? Scott Draper, your Pekin insurance agent at Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion, can help you feel safe with the right insurance coverages. For the right insurance for your home, auto, life, health, and business, see your Pekin insurance agent, Scott Draper at Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion.
Well, our friend from Chick-fil-A is on top of the Colonel first base dugout, a very popular promotion between innings, the Chick-fil-A Chicken Dance. Well, Jonathan Van Fleet, like any growing youngster, you had some hunger pains between innings. Your dad's going to bail you out, isn't he?
Yeah.
Boy, sounds like he's going to bring you some Skittles.
Yeah.
How about a hot dog?
No.
Okay. Jonathan Van Fleet, whose grandmother Greta is a member of the Cedar Rapids Professional Baseball Hall of Fame. She's the president of our booster club. Jonathan's with us this afternoon as we go to the 5th inning. John Santor takes a home run cut, swings and misses, strike 1. It's a beautiful Sunday here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Colonel record at home this year, 21 wins, 20 losses. In the second half, we're 3-3. A rally past the Chiefs today would give us the rubber game of this series and set us up for a 4-game series starting tomorrow night with the Beloit Snappers. Don Money and his Milwaukee Brewer farm hands come here. They have Prince Fielder, the son of former big league great Cecil Fielder, and they have Tony Gwynn's son on their team as well. John Santor ropes one foul off to the right, strike 2. 7-1 Chiefs, top of the 5th inning. Remember, if you bring a non-perishable food item tomorrow night To help in our Strikeout Hunger campaign, the Kernels have committed to enlist your help in trying to raise 20,000 pounds of food for area food assistance programs. You'll receive a $1 off coupon for a plaza or club seat. John Santor wraps a single up the middle on the ground to start the Chief fifth inning. Boy, that John Santor and Travis Hansen, they have just absolutely worn our pitching staff out this season. Santor and Hansen are hitting over .380 against Kernel pitching. 1 on, nobody out for Jet Heilman. If you bring a non-perishable food item to the game tomorrow, you'll receive a coupon for a $1 off a plaza or club seat. Limit 1 coupon per person as we enlist your help in trying to raise 20,000 pounds of food for our food assistance program. The chopper foul, and it is muffed by the Peoria skipper, Joe Cunningham Jr. It's 1-1 to Jut Heilman. Jut delivered a run home with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning. Well, Jonathan Van Fleet, you haven't told us why you're a Cub fan.
Because I like Sammy Sosa, even though he corked his bat.
Well, that's fine. Sammy's a great player, and I'm not saying it's fine. There's a grounder to third. Porter with a good play to his left, throws across the diamond to get Jut Heilman. Greg had to backhand that ball, hit down the third baseline. No play at second to get John Santor. Jut Heilman grounded out to Porter, who made a good play to his right. No, I'm not saying it's fine Sammy used cork. I want to say that in the strongest terms. I think it's great that you have a role model, and I think Sammy, like all human beings, made a pretty bad mistake, but he's tried to make good on it, and he's not going to do it again. That's all we can hope for.
Did you see all those corks that were thrown out in Baltimore when Sammy Sosa and the Cubs played Baltimore?
No, I did not see that, Jonathan. Is that what they did? They showered the field with corks?
Yeah. Bottom of the 9th, it was the last out, and they shadowed the whole field with corks.
I'm not so sure if that was a very good idea. 1 ball, 1 strike to Milko, not to Milko Jaramillo. This is the new second baseman, Tyler Durham. Durham, a right-handed batter, takes a curve outside. Tyler Durham took over at second base in the bottom of the 4th inning, and he's batting for the first time in the spot occupied by Milko Jaramillo. Again, Milko was hit by a pitch in that 3rd inning, the 5-run Chief 3rd, and here's a deep drive belted over Kwan's head. He's way back. He's there and has it. Oh, Kwan made a terrific catch. Hits the cutoff man as John Santor went to 3rd. Yes, that ball was hit over Kwan's head, but he turned his back to the infield and used his great athletic ability and speed and flew back, turned around with the sun shining brightly and caught it. Tyler Durham is lined out to center for the second out of Peoria's 5th inning. The Chiefs lead it 7-1. No, Jonathan, I didn't know that. Have you ever been to Wrigley Field?
No, but I've been to Busch Stadium.
You have?
Yes,
well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to try to arrange it with your grandma and parents. Maybe you and I can take a trip in to see the Cubs. I haven't been to Wrigley in almost 10 years, and that would be really neat for me to take a buddy and watch a ball game. Tim Lemon took a ball high. Now a pitch low and away. Lemon is the designated hitter. He doubled his last trip up. 2-0 to Tim Lemon.
You know how you asked me if I would go to Wrigley with you?
Yeah.
My mom just said that would be fine.
Well, we'll make it happen then. Maybe your grandma can come too. I could talk to your grandma for hours. She is a great storyteller.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to hear her tell stories about when the Reds used to be here and when she used to be a silver skate champion.
That was like my favorite.
Let's see if we can catch her attention again. I wonder if she's still listening or not. Here's the 3-0 to Tim Lemon. Low and away, ball 4. Let's see if Greta Van Fleet is down and
Grandma wave.
Let's see if she's... I'm not sure if she's... Oh, there she is. There's Greta. There's Greta waving Jonathan. Boy, she's still sitting in that shade where it's nice and comfortable, isn't she? Hey, some other Colonel fans are listening. That looks like Gwen and Gwen Sharp and Phyllis. I think they're listening too. First and third, 2 out. The batter Andy Ginther. Uh-oh, a base hit into center makes it 8-1. Andy Ginther joins the Peoria hit parade as he singles into center with 2 out, and the Chiefs lead it 8-1. That may be it for Jean Toledo. The Kernels do have a right-hander, Daniel Arias, ready to go in the right field bullpen. Andy Ginther has his first hit of the game as he singles into center. It's a run-scoring single. It plates John Santor. On to second goes Tim Lemon. And no move yet by the Colonel manager Todd Klaus to relieve Jean Toledo. 8 hits now for Peoria, and they lead it 8-1. Well, Jonathan, do you watch the Cubs on TV, or do you listen to their games?
I watch them on TV.
Jonathan Van Fleet knows more about baseball than any fourth grader I've ever met. First and second, 2 out. A curve is high. Jonathan, you don't get that nervous when you sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," or do you get a little stage fright?
I get a little stage fright, but not very much.
How old were you when you learned the words?
3 years old.
Wow. Matt Lemancic ahead in the count 1-0. Jean delivers outside a fastball. It just hasn't been Toledo's best outing, and in his defense, he hasn't had the strongest of fielding behind him this afternoon. And knowing that, Alex Dvorsky goes out to comfort the right-hander. Alex puts his arm around Jean Toledo and tells him to try to hang in there. He's trying to pump him up and let him know he's a 8-game winner with a good repertoire of pitches. Now Alex back behind the plate. Well, Jonathan, you start every school day by having breakfast where?
At Grandma's house. Fluffy pancakes.
Fluffy pancakes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy, now you're making me hungry. A curve is high, and it's 3-0 to Lemancic. Matt has scored a run, singled, stolen 2 bases. The leadoff hitter batting .287. He's batting for the 4th time this afternoon, and he takes a slider for a strike called. Matt Lemancic. Peoria started play today in a tie for first with Clinton. Both of those ball clubs 11-6. Time is called as Lemancic is ahead in the count 3-1. Matt is from Sacred Heart University. Boy, the Cardinals have good scouting to find a guy at Sacred Heart. A ground ball foul past third, and it's a full count to Lemancic. That's one thing about baseball. If you can play, they'll find you. If you can play, they'll sign you. Because there aren't enough good players to go around with 31 big league teams, and if you have some ability, they'll give you a shot. Lemancic's main tool is his blazing speed. Jean is set. With 2 on and 2 out, the pitch. A pop foul. That'll drift onto the Miller Mezzanine Terrace where it didn't quite make it up there, where the great folks from Cost Cutters are. Jonathan, why do 2 people on the Miller Mezzanine have black umbrellas?
So the sun doesn't get it to them?
That's right. Oh, I see a blue umbrella there, too. Another payoff pitch from Jean Toledo to Matt Lemancic. A high pop-up. It should end the inning. Kayaspo out. Weed in. BJ calls off Alberto. In shallow right field, BJ has it. Matt Lemancic on a full count pitch with the runners going and 2 out. flies to shallow right. In the 5th inning, 1 run for Peoria on 2 base hits. There were no Kernel errors. The Chiefs leave a pair. They've stranded 5. The Kernels come to bat in the home half of the 5th inning, trailing Peoria 8-1.
Peck's Flower and Garden Shop reminds you that June is Perennial Garden Month. Paint your garden with a punch of color with perennial flowers from Peck's. Peck's has a huge variety and wide selection of perennial flowers on sale. Buy 3 and get 1 free. Add a knockout to your garden with rose bushes from Peck's. Regularly $24.99, these beautiful, easy-to-care-for rose bushes are on sale at Peck's for only $17.99. You'll enjoy glowing cherry red blooms all summer long. Peck's reminds you that planting season is still in full swing. Experience beautiful blooms all summer long with annual flower plants by visiting the greenhouses at Peck's. Peck's Flower and Garden Shop is open until 8 on weeknights and until 5 on weekends at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Roads Northeast. Peck's has been growing with the Cedar Rapids area since 1956.
We will never forget, we will never forget the Ojanos. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
8-1 Peoria. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Allie Lensko will be joining us for the 6th inning. We'll have our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question for you. Meanwhile, Jonathan Van Fleet, going into the 4th grade, is here with his dad Steve and his mom Cheryl. And Cheryl's boss Matt is also here visiting. Jonathan, we're going to have you call a half inning and have fun. Jake Mathis is going to lead off. It'll be the lower 3rd for the Kernels in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mathis, in 1 at bat against Donovan Graves, has grounded out to short. Jake, a left-handed batter, 243 average, 3 homers, 28 RBIs. And Jonathan, part of calling play-by-play is just taking over and describing to the fans what's happening. So you describe what's happening as Jake leads it off here in the 5th inning.
What's Peoria's pitcher's name?
Oh, Donovan Graves or Graves. You can just say Graves.
Leading off for the Kernels in the 5th, Jake Mathis. And today the first one advanced in section 118, row BC13. Good luck to you at 3-2. You'll be a home run jackpot.
Okay, Jonathan.
Jake steps in.
There you go.
Stares down at the pitcher. Donovan delivers. And a high pop fly. It could be. But it's caught.
Oh, Jonathan, great call. What a catch in right by Judd Heilman. Jake hit one into orbit to deep right center. But Judd Heilman made a good catch, didn't he?
Yep.
Well, now.
Alex Dvorsky.
Yeah, here's Dvorsky.
Alex steps back in. Stares down at the pitcher. Don delivers high, ball 1 from Don.
Don Graves.
Don Graves. Graves delivers. Alex hits one foul down the 3rd base line.
Yeah, way out down the left field line onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion for strike 1. Jonathan Van Fleet is calling the action here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 out.
Down the pitcher. Graves delivers. Ball low.
Yes.
Here's the delivery. And it's fouled off. Alex steps in, stares down the pitcher, delivery, and just about hit Alex.
Yeah, it almost hit him. The ball ricocheted off his bat, or did it hit him? Jonathan, it must have hit him. He's going to first.
Hit him.
Well, Alex Dvorsky backed away from a pitch up and in. We thought it hit his bat. It ricocheted towards Kevin Jenkins, the on-deck hitter. And now, Jonathan, what's happening?
Oh, and the Peoria Chiefs Jr. steps out to have a word with the umpire.
Yes, Joe Cunningham Jr. is arguing with the plate umpire, Will Robinson. Joe Cunningham Jr. came out of the Chief dugout, and he's yelping at the plate umpire. He didn't think that pitch hit Alex, did he?
No.
Well, Jonathan Van Fleet describing Kevin Jenkins marching to the plate with Dvorsky at first, 1 out, bottom of the 5th, and it's 8-1 Chiefs. Jonathan, let's see if Kevin Jenkins, who flew out to deep right center his first time up, can chase home Alex Dvorsky.
Kevin steps in, stares down at the pitcher. Graves get ready. Graves delivers. Ball low.
Jonathan Van Fleet is calling the action for us here in the Kernels' 5th inning.
Graves delivers. Strike at the knees.
Yeah, strike at the knees. It's 1-1 now to Jenkins.
Delivery. And it's a 3-hopper. And it's flipped for a double play.
Yes, Jonathan, a 3-hopper up the middle to the shortstop. You called it great. Mike McCoy flipped it to Tyler Durham, just as you described it.
A 6-4-3 double play.
Jonathan, that is exactly right. You know the numbers of the positions. It went 6-4-3 to end the Kernel 5th inning. In the Kernel 5th, no runs, no hits, a hit batter, no Chief errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty. We've left 2 aboard. Well, Jonathan, thank you very much. We're going to, in a few minutes, Allie's going to come in for her part of the broadcast. You stay right here. I think your dad went to get you something to eat.
Yep.
And we'll bring you back on in a couple of innings. We're going to give you just a little bit of a break.
All right.
Well, thanks for calling that 5th inning.
Mm-hmm.
We go to the top of the 6th inning. A new hurler on for the Kernels. It's Daniel Arias. We'll tell you about him and have the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question for you. After 5, the Kernels trail the Chiefs 8-1.
Okay, so I'm dropping my daughter off at daycare, and as I'm walking out, I see myself in the double door. Uh-oh is right. My hair looks terrible. My ends are all scraggly, and my roots. Did you see my roots? I can't believe I've been walking around like this.
Have you tried Cost Cutters?
Oh, I'd love to get my hair done, but who has the time? With work and the kids, I barely have time to find matching socks, let alone time for my hair. Besides, I need the works.
Just go to Cost Cutters. They'll have you in and out looking great in no time.
Yeah?
Yeah. At Cost Cutters, the stylist will keep you looking great with a new cut, some color, even highlights. Check out mine.
Oh, so Cost Cutters is your secret.
Yep. I even get my favorite products there. You know, shampoo, conditioner.
That's it. I'm going to Cost Cutters.
Right now?
My roots, thank you.
There are a dozen Cost Cutters here in our area, each offering a relaxed, convenient hair care experience with no appointments and no hassles. Cost Cutters makes things easy and affordable with professional stylists who care about you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
Here's a fact about the new Veterans Memorial Stadium I bet you didn't know. All of the grounds surrounding our community's newest source of pride are maintained by Greg's Lawn Service. That's right, it's Greg's Lawn Service that provides you with that initial lift when you approach our magnificent new ballpark. Greg's Lawn Service can put their first-class signature on your yard, elevating it to the same immaculate condition you see around the stadium. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest since 1983.
A U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen answered by Daniel Arias. And Arias is greeted by a deep drive into left center by Mike McCoy. Way back in left center, Quan Cosby looking more and more comfortable each and every game. Makes a good running catch in deep left center. Mike McCoy, first pitch swinging against the Kernel right-hander Daniel Arias, is flown out to left center. The U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel Bullpen brought to you by U.S. Cellular. Visit a U.S. Cellular store or call U.S. Cellular at 1-888-BUY-USCC. U.S. Cellular, we connect with you. Jonathan Van Fleet will be back to sing the 7th inning stretch, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And meanwhile, we await the arrival of Ali Lensko. Here's a pitch, a strike to Reed Gorecki. We're in the top of the 6th inning, and the Kernels trail at 8-1. Daniel Arias with an 0-1. A breaking pitch up and in, a ball. Daniel is in relief of Jean Toledo. Jean suffered from lack of support behind him and did not have his usual great stuff this afternoon. A tap foul to the third base chief dugout, and it's 1-2 to the number 3 hitter, Reed Gorecki. He's 1 for 2 with the sacrifice fly. Daniel Arias pitched Tuesday in Fort Wayne. He went an inning and a third, no runs, no hits, no strikeouts, no walks. In the only game we lost to the Wizards, it was a 2-1 loss. The 1-2 to Gorecki. Spanked foul over the Papa John's Plaza. It's still 1-2. Well, Daniel Arias is still ahead of Gorecki, the 1-2. Ooh, it just missed outside. As we told you in the top of the 6th inning, we're proud to bring you our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. We have had 41 different winners this season in our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. A high, deep drive to left. Jenkins on a dead run. Kevin may not get it. It's at the wall, and it's off the wall. 4 extra bases. Reed Gorecki will make it to third as Quan couldn't come up with it cleanly, and it's a triple for Reed Gorecki, his 6th triple of the year. A triple for Reed Gorecki. I don't think they'll rule it a double and an error, because Reed was going to try for third anyway. No error has been charged to Quan Cosby as he fumbled the carom off the wall. The Springhouse Family Restaurant has a birthday club. I bet you didn't know that. You can fill out a form to be in the birthday club at the Springhouse a month before your birthday, and you'll get a letter in the mail for a free birthday meal at the Springhouse. Join the Springhouse Family Restaurant's birthday club by filling out a form when you visit the Springhouse. Do it a month before your birthday. You can leave it right there. And the Springhouse will mail you a letter for a free birthday meal at the Springhouse. That's a great offer from the Springhouse Family Restaurant. Runner at third, 1 out, infield in for the Kernels. Arias with a curve, a strike to Travis Hansen, who got it all started for Peoria with a 2-run homer back in the 1st inning. If you've won our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question, please don't call in this afternoon. Certainly play along at home wherever you are. The 0-1 from Arias to Hansen. A high fly ball will make it 9-1 Peoria. It's way back into right center. Quan glasses down, has it. And Travis Hansen drives in his 52nd run of the year. No, his 54th run of the year with a sacrifice fly to center. Allison Lensko, what rewards come the way of our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question winner?
Well, you get a $5 gift certificate, good at the Springhouse Family Restaurant, and as well as a wooden token, good for 1 free cup of coffee.
Well, that's great incentive. We have a Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question concerning a former Cardinal.
That's right. The question is, after starting his career as a catcher with the Cardinals in 1989 and playing with St. Louis for 6.5 seasons, this journeyman has played with 9 different teams since 1995.
Wow. We're going to repeat that. Journeyman is an understatement. Here's a strike on the outside corner to John Santor, who's reached 3 times this afternoon. We're in the top of the 6th, and Ali Lensko is going to repeat our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question for you after this next pitch to Santor. From Daniel Arias. Low, ball 1.
After starting his career as a catcher with the Cardinals in 1989 and playing with St. Louis for 6.5 seasons, this journeyman has played with 9 different teams since 1995.
Wow. We'll give you a hint. He played in the Midwest League, and he's now with Joe Torre as a Yankee. A slider outside corner, strike 2 to John Santor. He's no longer a catcher. Allie, the phone number to call for that $5 gift certificate to the Spring House and that wooden token for a spring free cup of coffee at the Spring House.
896-7615. 896-7615.
The 1-2 to Santor. Ooh, he checked his swing. Did he do so in time? Yes, according to the plate umpire. A final hint, not too many players in the big leagues' names begin with the last, or not too many players in the big leagues, well, no more hint needed, the phone ringing. 2-2 to John Santor. Oh, a slider in the dirt, ball 3. We have a winner in our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. Allie's taking that winner's name and address as we speak. We do have a winner in our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. 2 gone, nobody on for the Chiefs. Top of the 6th inning, they lead it 9-1. This just hasn't been the Kernels' day. I'll leave it at that. We played fairly poorly. A high pop foul down the right field line. Jake Mathis gives chase. What a catch in foul ground by Jake Mathis with his back to the infield. Way out beyond the Colonel right field bullpen. Jake Mathis with his back to the infield made a terrific catch on a ball hit over his shoulder. John Santor fouls out way down the right field line to Jake Mathis to end the Chiefs' 6th inning. For Peoria in the 6th, 1 run on 1 hit. No Colonel errors. The Chiefs leave the bases empty. Allie Lensko will repeat our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question and recognize our winner when the Colonels come to bat. After 5.5, Peoria with a new hurler leads the Kernels 9-1.
When searching for a professional logistics team of experts to handle your warehousing operations, look to Worley Warehousing. Worley Warehousing will help you achieve greater efficiencies by providing superior warehouse facilities, technological advancements, and expert professionals. By focusing on technological innovations and keen foresight, Worley Warehousing has grown into one of our nation's leading warehousing operations. Worley Warehousing, your single source for all of your warehousing and distribution needs.
Only one video game captures all the subtleties and realism of America's pastime. High Heat, Major League Baseball 2004. It's the only game for real baseball fans. Play against skilled computer opponents. Pitchers know when to challenge you, when to nibble. Managers know when to let their guy swing away, when to try a surprise bunt. This game captures the essence of the sport. It's also the only baseball game to get the 5-star award from official PlayStation Magazine. High Heat from 3DO. For video game systems and PC, visit highheat.com.
The SB's E is for excellence, including male and female athlete of the year and team of the year. S is for sports, as in top names like past winners Tiger Woods, Lance Armstrong, and Barry Bonds. P is for performance. Great performance is celebrated from all sports, from horse racing to tennis to basketball. If it excites the sports fans, it'll be on the show. Y is for yearly, as in once a year, so don't miss it. 9 p.m. July 16th on ESPN. Brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you?
Top of the order for the Kernels in the bottom of the 6th inning. We're down by 8, 9-1. Donovan Graves has given way to right-hander Jonathan Estes, who missed inside. Now a strike to Quan Cosby. Quan has hit the ball sharply twice. He's 0 for 2. Jonathan Estes, a right-hander, taking over in this game for Donovan Graves. 5 innings pitched, 1 run, 3 hits, no strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit batter. Quan dribbles 1 foul up the first base side, and he's in the hole 1-2. Joan Toledo went 5 innings, giving up 8 runs. I believe only 3 were earned, but we'll double-check that. On 8 hits in 5 innings, Joan struck out 2 and walked 1. He hit 2. Well, Allie, as usual, it didn't take long for one of our great Colonel fans to come through with the correct answer to our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question, and we're going to have you repeat that question after Quan takes this 1-2 pitch and takes it low and away, ball 2.
Starting his career as a catcher with the Cardinals in 1989 and playing with St. Louis for 6.5 seasons, This journeyman has played with 9 different teams since 1995.
And who answered our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question correctly as Quan fouls one off at the plate. The count remains 2-2.
Well, he's from the northwest side of Cedar Rapids, but he wished to remain anonymous.
Oh, okay.
So, but he says hello to you, John.
Okay, so he doesn't want his name on the air.
He doesn't want his name on the air, no.
Well, that's unusual. Huh. Well, I do know who it is. I have maybe he's supposed to be working today. That's probably it. He's in the kind of field where you would typically work on a Sunday, so perhaps he's working.
That could be.
Allie, thank you for helping us protect his privacy, but he is a good friend of the Kernels, and what has a foul up into the rafters by Quan. What was the answer to the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question?
Todd Zeal.
And Allie, after leaving the Cardinals, he played for a litany of teams.
Yep, it started off with the Cubs, then he went on to Philadelphia, and in Baltimore with the Orioles, then with the Dodgers, then with Florida, then to the Rangers, then to the Mets, then on to Colorado, and then down back to the Yankees. I guess not back to the Yankees.
But back to New York City.
Yeah.
A fly ball punched in the air to right, and to left rather. Quan Cosby's fly ball is caught by Matt Lemansek for the first out of the Colonel's 6th inning. Well, Allie, I don't know if you know much about Todd Zeal. He played in this league, and man, that's an awful lot of moving to have to do.
Sounds like a lot to me, so.
Boy. 10 teams counting the Cardinals. Well, congratulations to our winner in the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. We'll be sending him a certificate good for a $5 gift certificate redeemable at the Springhouse, and that wooden token for a free cup of coffee. Todd Zeal started as a catcher for the Cardinals in '89, and since then he's played with 10 different teams. A ball and a strike to B.J. Weed. B.J. has one of the Colonel 3 hits today. 1 out. Nobody on. Colonel's batting in the home half of the 6th inning. A ground ball wrapped to the second baseman. Tyler Durham charges and throws B.J. out. Tyler Durham took over at second in the 4th inning, and he's handled 2 chances flawlessly. 2 away in the Colonel's 6th inning. We're down on this one 9-1. Well, Allie, I want you to adjust your mouthpiece. Just there you go. With 2 out, Jason Sugden's going to bat for Alberto Callaspo. Jason Sugden will pinch hit for Callaspo here with 2 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Allie, let's get started with our Colonel Did You Know question. It's brought to us by the Kernels. Visit us online at kernels.com, Kernels. You can order tickets that way. Here's a pitch squib to third. Sugden, first pitch swinging, rolls to third, and Travis Hansen throws him out. First pitch swinging, Jason Sugden was jammed and rolls one down the third baseline. And the relief pitcher, Jonathan Estes, who's on for the 26th time out of the chief bullpen, retires the top 3 in the Colonel order in order. Now, Allie's going to have our Colonel Did You Know question in the top of the 7th. Between the top of the 7th and bottom of the 7th, Jonathan Van Fleet's going to sing on the zone, on the radio, Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and then Allie and I will hook up for the last couple of innings. After 6, Peoria is still pounding the Kernels 9-1.
We're going to make little boy's dreams come true. How often do you get the chance to cream your dad with a delicious wine from Perkins? Now, our contestants today are Craig and his dad, Rob. If Craig manages to successfully cream his dad, get his gear good and dirty, he'll win dinner for 2 with 2 beverages from Perkins. Dad will win a certificate for a prize from Perkins. Fans in the stands, make some noise and cheer them on. You can do it, Craig. 3, 2, 1, cream him!
When it comes to life insurance, think ahead. Think about planning for your family's future with Farm Bureau Financial Services. Bob, Colette, and Marion can help you determine what coverage is right for you and your family. When so much in life is beyond your control, aren't you glad life insurance isn't? For your family's future, think about life insurance from Bob, Colette, and Cedar Rapids. Farm Bureau Financial Services, more than you think. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, West Des Moines, Iowa.
This is an emergency. This isn't. Say it's an evening or a weekend, and you have a, or perhaps even a, you don't need, but you'd rather not, for your doctor's office to open. That's when it's time to visit a Mercy Care Urgent Care Clinic. Just walk in, limp in, or even crawl in. And a Mercy Care physician will help you feel better, faster. There's a Mercy Care Urgent Care Clinic near you. Mercy Care North on Collins Road Northeast, and the new Mercy Care South on Edgewood Road Southwest. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m., and weekends, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So, next time you have, visit a Mercy Care Urgent Care Clinic in your neighborhood.
Well, Allie, I think a fairly interesting couple of questions in the realm of the Colonel. Did you know?
I think so, too. Our first Did You Know question has to do with John's favorite team, the St. Louis Cardinals. And did you know that in Sports Illustrated's poll of Major League Baseball players that St. Louis was voted overwhelmingly as the city with the best fans?
Here's a little looper off the end of the bat, dumped into shallow right. It's a one-out single for Tyler Durham. Durham came on to play second in the fourth inning, flew out to center in the fifth, but a Texas League single dumped into right is the Chiefs' 10th hit of the day. Well, Allie, I'm so proud of the question you asked and then answered. A survey was done by Sports Illustrated among not people but Major League players, and please repeat the Did You Know question.
Did you know that in Sports Illustrated's poll of Major League Baseball players that St. Louis was voted overwhelmingly as the city with the best fans? And overwhelmingly almost doesn't state it well enough. It says, looks like St. Louis had 46.4% of the players saying that St. Louis had the best fans. The next up was Boston with only 13.1%. So. Well,
I feel very proud to be a part of the Cardinal family. I grew up a Cardinal fan, and I've always felt that we did have the best baseball city in the country. Ball one is low from Jeff Marquez to Tim Lemon. It's 1-1. Allie, we want to make all our Cub fans feel good about the survey, and Jonathan Van Fleet is among those wearing his Cub shirt. So we'll get to the second part of our Colonel Did You Know question, the survey of big league ball players done by Sports Illustrated. Jeff Marquez misses low, ball two to Tim Lemon.
Did you know that Chicago was voted as the best city to visit on the road? And that had 34.6% of the players said Chicago. The next up was New York with 16.5%.
Well, Allie, you better be happy.
I'm happy, too. I'm a Cubs fan also with Jonathan, so.
A slider, strike two called to Tim Lemon. 1-on, 1-out. We're in the top of the seventh. It's been all Peoria. They've out-hit us 10-3. We've helped them by making 5 errors, and they lead it 9-1. Allie, I'd have to agree with both of those. If I was a Major League player, how can we can wish, right?
Yeah.
I would have voted the same way. I love visiting Chicago. A high pop foul behind the plate. Alex Dvorsky gives chase, looks up, and it's on to the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. Allie, there's something electric about visiting Chicago.
I would agree with you. I love Chicago. I miss being there, and I like to go back and visit a lot. And
I drove in last February before you had visited the job fair to submit your interest in the Kernels, and I drove all the way into Chicago, all the way. It's about 4 hours from here, and went to the Field Museum to see a special traveling baseball exhibit from Cooperstown. Have you heard about it?
I had heard about that. I didn't make it out there. I'm not home very often, but
it was worth the drive.
Was it?
They had John Lackey's hat, the former Colonel who pitched Game 7 of the World Series for the Angels. It was in the museum. So was Art Pennington's baseball glove. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on Tim Lemon. Jeff Marquez got him on a full count curveball. 1-on, 2-out, and Andy Ginther at the plate. Well, Allie, thank you for those Colonel Did You Know questions. I thought the survey answers from the Major League players, the poll conducted by Sports Illustrated, I thought the answers were fascinating.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see what the players actually think.
Yeah, and they think the best city to play in is St. Louis, and they think the best city to visit on the road is Chicago. Jonathan Van Fleet is tuning up his vocal cords as he's going to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game on the radio, but after this top of the 7th. We'll tip Deb Williams off. Deb, we will not take a break between the top of the 7th and the bottom of the 7th. We can make those spots up on the Colonel Curtin call. Deb Williams will keep it right here between innings and have Jonathan Van Fleet. He'll be taking the headset off of Allie in a few moments, and he'll be singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. A 2-0 pitch from Jeff Marquez to the right-handed batter is up and in, ball 3 to Andy Ginther. Allie, I was a little surprised that San Diego didn't rate higher on the favorite cities for players to visit, but then I got to thinking so many players are from warm weather cities.
Yeah, a lot of them are, from Miami or Florida area and California. And
yeah.
It might not be much of a difference for them or change or anything neat, to go see.
That's exactly what I thought. Plus, they're visiting Chicago at the best time, spring and summer.
Yeah.
And in case you're wondering, I believe, I'll check the survey a little later. There were a couple of surprising other questions that were bannered about for the big leaguers. One of them, I believe, the most uncomfortable locker room, and I think Wrigley Field was number 1, and that's just because it's so old. Allie, you can turn to page 54 of that Sports Illustrated if Steve can help us. Oh, doggone it, it's a mag. Thanks, Steve. Page 54 as Eric Bennett comes out to visit Jeff Marquez. Runners at first and second, and 2 out. 9-1 Chiefs were in the top of the 7th inning. Allie, there's something in there about the worst locker room.
Yeah, let's see. It says Fenway Park has the worst locker room, voted on by 30.5%, said that Fenway Park. Oh, right after that, though, comes Cubs, so...
But you know what?
Wrigley Field might be the most beautiful field, but I guess the locker rooms aren't that great.
Well, they're so small, and that's okay. The players, just by saying they're the worst locker rooms, they're not saying those are... They probably love playing it. I know the big leaguers love playing at Fenway and Wrigley. It's just that the quarters are cramped.
Yeah, and they're older stadiums.
Yeah,
so.
Built before 1920, for goodness sake. A curve hammered into left field, a base hit. Rounding third is Tyler Durham. He'll stop there. The bases are loaded with 2 out. Oh, the ball squirts away from one of the Colonel infielders, but... Oh, boy, did you hear what that fan said, Allie?
Get your head in the game.
Yeah, boy, you could hear that fan on our crowd mic, and it's unfortunate that the Colonels are taking a bit of a berating from the home fans, but we just haven't played well here today at all. Matt Lemancic singles into left field, and the bases are loaded with 2 out. Jeff Marquez working for the first time since Wednesday in Fort Wayne. That's a game the Colonels won. Jeff worked 1 inning, gave up 1 run on 1 hit, and he spins a curveball in on the outside corner to Mike McCoy. The Chiefs lead this one 9-1. They've been in command the entire afternoon. Jeff working from the stretch to Mike McCoy. Ooh, a beautiful breaking pitch, strike 2 called. Allie Lensko, thank you for those Colonel Did You Know questions. It's great that Sports Illustrated was able to get such forthright answers from big league players. The 0-2, low, ball 1. St. Louis has a young player named Bo Hart. He's captured the city's imagination. He's been a Cardinal about 3 weeks. He's been in the minor leagues 4 or 5 years, wasn't considered a real prospect, and Tony La Russa put him in the leadoff spot, and he gets a standing ovation every time he comes to the plate. Not too many cities treat a rookie like that.
Yeah, no.
Brett Cimarelli warming up in the Colonel right field bullpen. Well, Allie, your baseball buddies were very excited today, weren't they?
They were. That little one was great.
Yes, the Taco Bell baseball buddies came out onto the field, and a little fella Oh, he was churning his legs as fast as he could, and it seemed like a marathon for him to get out to the pitcher's mound.
No, it did.
I'm glad you assigned him to the pitcher's mound and not left field.
Yeah, really.
Ball 3 up and into Mike McCoy. The bases are loaded, 2 out, and a 3-2 pitch is on the horizon. The Peoria Chief runners will be going on this payoff pitch. There go the runners. Here's Jeff's 3-2. Inside, ball 4, and it's 10-1. Second walk of the inning issued by the Colonel right-hander, and forcing in a run, Tyler Durham crosses the plate. Mike McCoy drives in a run. The bases are still loaded, and let's see if Brett Cimarelli will come on here in the 7th inning, or if Jeff Marquez will finish her out. Boy, Allison, I'll tell you, those Taco Bell baseball buddies are so well treated by the Kernels in that first base dugout.
They sure are. The guys are really great. I think they're warming up more and more as the season goes on to the idea of the kids being down there. And
yeah. One kid I saw at third base brought his McDonald's baseball bat from Friday night.
He sure did. That was a nice bat. I'm surprised at how nice they were.
Very nice quality. Ball 1 high to Reed Gorecki. Now a curve, a strike on the inside corner. Top of the 7th, 10-1 Peoria. Jonathan Van Fleet will be singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game following this Chiefs 7th inning. The 1-1 for Marquez. Line shot up the middle, a base hit. It'll score 2 and put Peoria ahead 12-1. 12-1 Chiefs as Reed Gorecki adds to the Colonel miseries here this afternoon. Lining a 2-0 pitch hard through the middle to score a pair. And the 2 men that scored were Andy Ginther from third and Matt Lemancic from second. And, Allie, you're not going to believe this when I tell you this. Peoria, let's see here. Peoria has now outscored us this season 71-40. Ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's the best word for it. Let's see if Jeff can get this final out. Ball 1 low, a fastball. If you're wondering why we haven't given you scores yet on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, the reason is we just haven't had a chance yet, but Allie will go to work on that, and there will be a lot of finals to report on come the 8th inning on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. A curve is high, and it's ball 2 to Travis Hansen. Let me make sure I have my numbers right here. 61. I'm sorry. Peoria's outscored us 73-40. A little worse than first described.
You could have just left it, John.
Well, it's not that Peoria is that. Sure, it looks like they're going to beat us for the 8th time in 11 games, but we said earlier they're so much more experienced and older. They have a lot of guys who are in their 4th and 5th year of pro ball. Swing and a miss by Hansen. The count even to Travis, 2-2. We are such a comparatively young, inexperienced ball club with all sorts of 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. And all of them are very good players with very good work ethics, and that's why the Kernels have been pleased with their progress this year. A tap to the right side. Mathis has it. He'll underhand to Jeff Marquez to end the inning. Travis Hansen taps out. Jake Mathis, 2. The pitcher Marquez covering. 8 men batted in the Chiefs' 7th inning. And for Peoria, 3 runs on 2 hits, no Colonel errors, a pair of walks, and the Chiefs leave 2 men aboard. They've stranded 7. Well, as God Bless America is sung here, we'll let you listen to that for a moment, then get to Jonathan Van Fleet. Here's God Bless America.
I heard through the night with light from above, from the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam.
That's God Bless America. Here's Jonathan Van Fleet, our guest this afternoon, with Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care. Oh my gosh. The crowd.
Oh, sing along, Jonathan.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back for it's root for the Kernels. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of the old ball game.
Hey, Jonathan Van Fleet singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We're going to keep it right here. Deb Williams, our in-studio engineer, knows that. Peoria leads this game 12-1. And as the Kernels get set to bat in the bottom of the 7th, State Farm Insurance agents Gary Shubat, Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, and Dale Thompson proud to bring us this look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. And Allison Lensko, this is our first check of the State Farm Major League scoreboard today.
All right, well, in the National League, we've got quite a few finals here. In Atlanta at Turner Field, we have the Braves taking out the Expos 7-5. At Synergy Field, the Mets beat the Reds 7-5 as well. And then the Pirates beat the Astros 8-3 at PNC Park. We had in Philadelphia, the Phillies lost to the Marlins 6-3. And at Miller Park, the Brewers beat the Rockies 3-1. Later on, coming up, I'll give you scores from Wrigley Field, the Cubs in St. Louis. And at Qualcomm Stadium, the San Francisco Giants and the Padres are going to take head-to-head, I guess. And at Dodger Stadium, we have the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. Then in the American League, we've got 2 finals right now at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees beat the Red Sox 7-1. And at Tropicana Field, we have the White Sox beating the Devil Rays 11-5.
Well, Allie, that's great. And I know you'll be checking in with Deb, and we'll get some of those partial scores, including... Here's a line shot into shallow center. It's a base hit off the bat of Greg Porter. On a 2-0 pitch, Greg Porter has the Colonel 4th hit of the game. Greg Porter, leading off the 7th inning, has singled into center. Allie's look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Shubat, Lanny Peterson, Al Shetler, and Lanny Peterson. Ball 1 is high and away to Eric Ibar. Eric this afternoon is 0 for 2. Ground ball wrapped up the middle. The shortstop boots it, and everybody's safe. Eric Ibar hit one sharply through the box, and it was mishandled by Mike McCoy. That'll be the chief first error of this game.
Designated hitter, Matt Abram. Matching the slow-drop designated man, Tony Perkins of Maryland.
Matt Abram with 2 on and nobody out. Matt has given the Kernels their only run of the afternoon. We're down 12-1. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Abram homered back in the 2nd inning. A curve and a swing and a miss. Jonathan Estes is on the hill. Estes took over in the 6th inning and retired the top 3 in the Kernel order. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Greg Porter greeted him with a single. Eric Ibar reached on an error, charged to the shortstop, Mike McCoy. Ball 1 is low to Matt Abram. Jonathan Estes on for the 26th time this year. A 2-2 record with a 4.280 earned run average. In 33 2/3 innings, Estes has given up 35 hits. A line shot past the second baseman off his glove. Porter rounds third. Greg will score to make it a 12-2 game. That ball was crushed by Matt Abram. Too hot for the second baseman, Tyler Durham, to handle. Tyler dove to his left, got a glove on it, knocked it down, or slowed it down. It went on into center field. Ibar stopped at second. Matt Abram has his second run driven into the game. And the Kernels now trail 12-2. The batter, Jake Mathis, against Jonathan Estes. Ball one low and away to Jake. Jake is grounded out to short and flown out to deep, deep right. The chief right-hander delivers. Outside, ball two. 12-2 Peoria. Nobody out. Kernels have runners at first and second here in the bottom of the seventh inning. A ground ball, foul outside first. Foul. That would have scored a pair, and likely would have scored a pair. Well, Allie, we have so many fans in this community that are like Jonathan Van Fleet and I. One, Jonathan's a Cub fan. I'm a Cardinal fan. State Farm Major League Scoreboard. What's happening at Wrigley?
Well, right now they are in a delay, rain delay. But the score is currently St. Louis ahead 4-0.
All right. That's good news. Ball three low and away to Mathis. Boy, you wonder, how could it be raining 4 hours to our east? Look how beautiful it is here.
Yeah, well, Chicago usually gets our weather a little, like a day to a half day later than we do, so.
That's true. We thank Mike Kohlbeck for, here's a high fly ball, a can of corn into center. It'll be the first out of the inning. Reed Gorecki in deep center has it. And tagging from second and lumbering over to third is Eric Ibar. Jake Mathis flies to deep center for the first out of the Kernels' seventh inning. Allie, we have good news from Mike Kohlbeck, our Director of Marketing and Public Relations.
The attendance just got in. Right now, today, we're at 2,443. So not too bad.
Very, very good crowd. Allie, you have some other scores that we'll get to, as Alex Dvorsky has not been retired yet today. He's singled and he's been hit by a pitch. Runners at the corners, one out. Time is called.
Okay, we have another final here at Kauffman Stadium. The Royals beat the Tigers 5-3 today. And another final, let's see, at the Metrodome. It took 10 innings for the Twins to lose to the Indians 5-3.
A curve is strike one called to Alex.
And at Oriole Park, we're still going on during the 10th inning right now, and the Blue Jays are leading 5-3 over the Orioles. So that one should be over soon, probably.
The 0-1 to Dvorsky. Just missed low, ball one.
And then I'm currently going on still at Qualcomm Stadium. The Giants and the Padres are tied 0-0 at the bottom of the first. And at the Coliseum in Oakland, the A's and the Anaheim Angels, our parent club, are tied 1-1 in the bottom of the fourth.
Here's a number to second, and past the second baseman, and a run scores to make it 12-3. That will likely be an error on Tyler Durham, but that ball was hit off the end of Dvorsky's bat. It had all sorts of spin on it, and it absolutely ate up the second baseman, ate him up, a short hop, and it skipped by him. It's an error on Tyler Durham, and Ibar scores to make it a a Kernel two-run inning. Alex Dvorsky reaches for the third straight time today. He hit one off the end of the bat. It had all sorts of backspin on it, and it just ate up Tyler Durham and went by him. An error by Tyler Durham, the second on the Chiefs this inning, and the Kernels have given this big crowd that Allie just announced at 2,443 something big to cheer about. It's now 12-3 Peoria. A high drive into center off the bat of Kevin Jenkins. Back goes Reed Gorecki. He has it, tagging and going to third, and making it safely is Matt Abram. My goodness, the Kernels have hit a ton of fly balls here this afternoon. Let me count how many putouts that is for Reed Gorecki in center field. Both runners tagged. Abram went to third. Dvorsky went to second. How many fly balls has Reed Gorecki caught this afternoon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Kernels have hit 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fly ball outs to the outfield. The Kernels have hit 10 fly ball outs to the outfield. Second and third, 2 out. Quan Cosby at the plate. He's hit the ball well 3 times. He's 0 for 3. Jonathan Estes spins in a strike called to Quan Cosby. Well, Allie, did you happen to catch some of our guest Jonathan Van Fleet's play-by-play?
I sure did. He did a great job.
Now he's spoiling me sharing his Skittles with me. An 0-1 to Quan is outside. I forgot one of the cardinal rules of radio, Allie. Don't eat on the air. Did they teach you that pretty early at Iowa?
Well, they didn't really teach you that. I think you kind of just figure it out.
I guess you do.
It's kind of like chewing gum and giving a speech at the same time.
Yeah. Quan takes outside, ball 2. We're in the bottom of the 7th. It's 12-3 Peoria. The Kernels have scored a pair, have runners at second and third with 2 out. Abrams at third, Dvorsky's at second. Shadows creeping towards the dirt batting circle, cast from the grandstand roof. The 2-1. A high pop foul. There may be a play for Travis Hansen near the Chief dugout. And it's beyond his reach. I don't know what's beyond that Chief dugout. Some guys were sitting there. I don't know if they're Chief players or who they are.
Yeah, they look like they have Chief hats on at least.
He could have caught that ball.
Yeah.
But he stopped, and his teammates didn't help him a bit. So Quan Cosby is still alive. Boy, this crowd is making some noise with those thunder sticks from the Freedom Festival. Abram at third, Dvorsky at second. With 2 out, the 2-2 to Cosby. Wrapped on the ground, base hit right field. Base hit right field. Abram scores to make it a 3-run inning. And on to third goes Alex Dvorsky. That's Quan Cosby's first hit of the day and his 14th RBI of the year. Quan Cosby grounded a single sharply into right with 2 out. Abrams scored the 3rd run of the Kernels' 7th inning. Dvorsky stopped at third, and the Chief lead is now 12-4. Great to see Quan Cosby rewarded. He hit the ball hard 3 times earlier today, and he grounds a single into right to make it a 3-run 7th inning. B.J. Weed has one of the Kernels' 6 hits this afternoon. He chops one foul into the Kernel first base dugout where Greg Porter tried to catch it. This big Kernel crowd of nearly 2,500 does not want this Kernel 7th inning to end. Estes from the stretch delivers high, ball 1 to B.J. Weed. Weed, a switch hitter, batting left-handed. Smokes one foul into the screen, and it's 1-2 to BJ. Well, Jonathan Van Fleet will be with us during the 8th inning, and then we'll finish things up in the 9th with Allie. And it's really been great to have such an outpouring of interest in our broadcasts on all fronts, here at the stadium, all across eastern Iowa, on the internet, and right here in the booth. Ball 2 is outside to B.J. Weed. Weed came in hitting .287, no homers, 27 RBIs. He drove in 3 runs last night. A high pop foul. Hansen at third chases this one, and this time his teammates give him some help, but it's caught by a youngster in the lawn section. I want to correct myself. B.J. Weed drove in 1 run last night, and he drove in 3 runs in the Kernel win Friday night. So he's driven in 4 runs in the last 2 games. Runners at the corners. 2 out. Bottom of the 7th inning. The Kernels have plated 3. Trail still, though, 12-4. BJ shoots one in the air to shallow left near the line. Matt Lemansek had him played that way. Matt takes a few strides to his right and near the line tucks it away. BJ Weed is flown out to left. The Kernels send 8 men to bat in the 7th inning. They score 3 runs. On 2 base hits, there were 2 chief errors, and the Kernels leave a pair. We've stranded 4. Jonathan Van Fleet will join us for the 8th inning as we head to the top of the 8th. Peoria 12, the Kernels 4.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin. You know, Hometown Restyling has served Eastern Iowans since 1986, providing the very finest in windows, siding, and sunrooms. Their experienced staff can handle the job from start to finish, including plans, permits, and inspections. Plus, Hometown Restyling is nationally recognized by Professional Remodeler, Qualified Remodeler, and Remodeling magazines. Call Hometown Restyling for your next remodeling project, or better yet, visit one of our beautiful showrooms in Hiawatha or Coralville. Hometown Restyling, because there's no place like home.
Are your debts threatening your peace of mind? Here are the danger signs. If you borrow from one credit card to pay off another. If you're maxed out on 2 or more cards. If you can only afford to make the minimum monthly payment. But now there's a nonprofit organization that can help you reduce your debt load and get caught up again. It's called AmeriDebt. Call them at 1-800-262-4800. AmeriDebt can help you reduce your monthly payments as much as 50%. They'll negotiate with your creditors for you, eliminating or reducing your interest rates. And they'll consolidate your bills into one lower monthly payment. Even if you're not a homeowner, even if you're way behind, AmeriDebt can help. If you have more than $2,000 in debt, call AmeriDebt now for a free debt consultation. 1-800-262-4800. It's completely confidential, and there's no obligation. If you've noticed the debt danger signs, or if you're just tired of worrying about your bills, there's help waiting. Call AmeriDebt now, 1-800-262-4800.
We have a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. We'd like Deb Williams to give our booth a call right now. Deb, in-studio engineer, please give the booth a call. We want to make sure that the commercials played in the last half inning, and Allie will answer the phone. Deb Williams, please call us the booth right now, 896-7615, 896-7615. Deb Williams, please call the broadcast booth, 896-7615. Again, in-studio engineer Deb Williams, please call this booth at 896-7615, 896-7615. We want to make sure the commercials ran between the top or the bottom of the 7th and the top of the 8th. A U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen has Brett Cimarelli taking over. Brett Cimarelli is on the hill for the Kernels. Again, a plea to Deb Williams, our in-studio engineer, and we'll see if those commercials ran or not. A slider on the outside corner, strike 1 to John Santor. Brett Cimarelli. Following Daniel Arias and Jeff Marquez out of the Colonel bullpen. Deb Williams, thanks for calling. We're glad to know we're back on the same wavelength with you. Well, Jonathan Van Fleet, this has been one of those games that Peoria's kind of ruled from the outset, but boy, I'll tell you, Jonathan, as Brett misses low and away ball 3, a lot of kids your age, they just don't have the attention span to watch a full game. What is it about baseball that you so love as a little kid? Not a little kid, a boy.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
You never lose interest, do you? Ball 4 to the batter. Brett Cimarelli has walked John Santor to start the 8th inning. The Kernels down by 8, 12-4.
If the Cubs are losing or something, then I'd probably turn it off for a little bit and then go back to it. But
well, the Cub fans always go back to it. That's the whole point. They have a great nation. The Cubs, everybody likes to follow those lovable losers, the Cubs. And I don't say that in a negative way. It's positive. How many people would stick with a team that hasn't won the World Series in almost 100 years? Here's a high pop-up. Guarding his eyes or shading his eyes from the sun between the mound and second. Eric Ibar catches Judd Heilman's high pop-up. Judd Heilman is popped up to the middle of the infield where Ibar caught it. 1 on, 1 out. Here's Tyler Durham, the second baseman. And I mean that, Jonathan. The Cubs are lovable. They're not always losers. They win a lot of games. In fact, they'll probably win that Central Division this season with that great pitching staff they have.
Oh, yeah.
Ball 1 down and away to Tyler Durham. And they won division titles in 84 and 89, and then they went back to the playoffs a couple of years ago, beating San Francisco in a 1-game playoff. So I say lovable losers. I say that tongue-in-cheek. The Cubs have a great tradition of baseball, and there's no better place to watch a game than Wrigley Field on the big league scene.
I just hope that they make it to the playoffs this year.
I think they will. Here's a bouncer foul towards the Chief third base dugout. It's 2-1 to Tyler Durham. I hope my Cardinals make it to the playoffs this year. If they do, I believe it will be the 4th or 5th year in a row they've made it to the playoffs. Here's a pop foul over the backstop, or over the grandstand roof. Brett Cimarelli is even on the count now.
Cardinals are in first place, just to let you know.
Yep, just by a little bit. They sure are. It's going to be a battle between the Cardinals, Reds, Astros, and Cubs.
I went to a Toronto game last week.
A foul off to the right, and the count remains even. Well, Jonathan, I understand your mom, Cheryl's mother, passed away, and that meant you went to Toronto. I had no idea you went to Skydome.
Yes, I did. I learned that if you drop a penny from the CN tower, it'll hit, and it hits somebody in the head, you might as well just say goodbye to the world.
A double play ball. 5-4-3. Tyler Durham hit it to Greg Porter, who threw it to not Kayaspo. That must have been B.J. Weed at second base. It went 5-4-3. 5-4-3. Tyler Durham hits into an inning-ending double play. A great 8th inning for Brett Cimarelli. No runs for the Chiefs. No hits, a walk. No Colonel errors. And a double play started by Greg Porter around the horn ends the Chief 8th inning. Peoria leaves no one. They've stranded 7. Jonathan Van Fleet, I want to hear more about the CN Tower. I've been up it in Toronto. I did not know the harrowing story you just told about a penny, and I want you to repeat it when the Kernels come to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jonathan Van Fleet just returned from Toronto. He's been to Skydome. We'll find out if he's been to the CN Tower. It sounds like he has, the tallest freestanding structure in the world. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Kernels trail Peoria 12-4.
Okay, so I'm dropping my daughter off at daycare, and as I'm walking out, I see myself in the double door. Uh-oh is right. My hair looks terrible. My ends are all scraggly, and my roots. Did you see my roots? I can't believe I've been walking around like this.
Have you tried Cost Cutters?
Oh, I'd love to get my hair done, but who has the time? With work and the kids, I barely have time to find matching socks, let alone time for my hair. Besides, I need the works.
Just go to Cost Cutters. They'll have you in and out and looking great in no time.
Yeah?
Yeah. At Cost Cutters, the stylist will keep you looking great with a new cut, some color, even highlights. Check out mine.
Oh, so Cost Cutters is your secret.
Yep. I even get my favorite products there. You know, shampoo, conditioner.
That's it. I'm going to Cost Cutters. Right now? My roots, thank you.
There are a dozen Cost Cutters here in our area, each offering a relaxed, convenient hair care experience with no appointments and no hassles. Cost Cutters makes things easy and affordable with professional stylists who care about you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Jason Sugden took a ball, now swats one foul into the screen. He's facing Jonathan Estes for the second time. We are in the bottom of the 8th, and the Kernels on the short end of a 12-4 score. Looping one foul just to our left is Sugden, 1-2. Jonathan Estes came on in the bottom of the sixth inning in relief of starter Donovan Graves. Sugden batted in that inning for Kayaspo. Jason grounded out or rolled out to third. The 1-2 to Jason Sugden from Estes. Way outside. That evens the count at 2-2. Jonathan Van Fleet has been our guest throughout the afternoon. And Jonathan, you were telling us about what nobody thinks a penny could hurt anybody, but you were telling us something about in Toronto, strike 3 called on the inside corner. It looked like ball 3, but Sugden is punched out by plate umpire Will Robinson, 1 out in the Colonel 8th inning. What would happen if a person was struck by a penny that was dropped from the CN Tower in Toronto?
They either would have very bad brain injuries or they would die.
And you'll learn a little later in physics probably. I don't understand the physics of that. All I know is that a small object like that picks up speed as it drops. Here's a drive down the left field line onto the Randy Keel Honda Picnic Pavilion by Greg Porter, strike 1. Well, there's a lesson to be learned there, and that is don't ever throw something off of anything. I remember a guy, some kids thinking it would be funny to drop a boulder from an highway overpass in St. Louis, and it smashed through the windshield of the driver, and it killed them. And I don't say that as a gross story. I'm just saying, kids, you should never do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Porter almost hit by a pitch. He did get nicked by it. Greg takes his base. Greg Porter is at first as Jonathan Estes came inside and I think hit the backside of Greg's red knit batting practice top. Greg is fine. And, you know, not only did that rock kill the lady, but the taxpayers had to pay all this money for these overpasses now to have enclosed fence in a tunnel.
Yeah.
Just because of those kids.
I don't see where kids get those crazy ideas.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. I'll tell you where they get them. A high pop-up back a second. It'll be caught by Tyler Durham, glasses down. Eric Ibar pops out to second for the second out of this 8th inning. The two places kids get dumb ideas like that are watching bad shows on television and not having their parents ever correct them when they're younger. Parents are the reason kids, not solely, but if a parent lets a kid get away with stuff, then the kid's going to turn out to be a rotten apple.
Yeah.
Matt Abram is homered and driven in a run. He pops one foul. This one will go up onto the grandstand roof. Out of play. Strike 1. Jonathan, you know, my dad would never let us kids buy fireworks because of all the kids he'd have to. My dad was a doctor and he saw kids maim their fingers and hurt themselves for life playing with firecrackers.
See, my friend buys firecrackers, but his dad is very strict about where we stand and where we are when he lights them off.
That is the key right there. Safety first. A curve and a swing and a miss by Abrams, strike 2.
I mean, he would never let one, like if my friend was standing right next to him, he'd say, back up before I let these off.
Yeah, well, that's what you have to do to stay safe. The 0-2 to Matt. Curve in the dirt. Porter holds it first. The Chiefs with an 8-run lead in the 8th inning are not holding Greg Porter.
Did your dad ever let you buy sparklers or?
No, he was pretty strict, like that neighbor parent of yours. My dad was pretty cut and dry. He allowed certain things and he didn't allow other things.
See, we can have fun with sparklers, like light them and stuff.
Yeah, and that's
while
fine.
The parents light them and then we play with them.
There's nothing wrong with that, Jonathan. Every parent sets the rules of the household. The main thing is that there's some parameters or boundaries.
Yeah.
Wrapping one to short is Matt Abram. Mike McCoy underhands to Tyler Durham to force Porter, and that ends the Colonel 8th inning. For the Colonels in the 8th, no runs, no hits, a hit batter. There were no chief errors. The Colonels leave one man on. We've stranded 5. Jonathan Van Fleet, I'll hopefully see you for the chicken after the game thank you so much for adding so much. You guys, you kids are the future of this game. And if we don't make time for you and hear your point of view, baseball's going to sink, and we don't want that to happen. Baseball will thrive as long as kids keep coming to the ballpark. Jonathan Van Fleet, thank you.
You're welcome.
We go to the top of the 9th inning. It's all Peoria. They lead the Kernels 12-4.
Flower and Garden Shop reminds you that June is Perennial Garden Month. Hit your garden with a punch of color with perennial flowers from Pex. Pex has a huge variety and wide selection of perennial flowers on sale. Buy 3 and get 1 free. Add a knockout to your garden with rose bushes from Pex. Regularly $24.99, these beautiful, easy-to-care-for rose bushes are on sale at Pex for only $17.99. You'll enjoy glowing cherry red blooms all summer long. Pex reminds you that planting season is still in full swing. Experience beautiful blooms all summer long with annual flower plants by visiting the greenhouses at Pex. Pex Flower and Garden Shop is open until 8 on weeknights and until 5 on weekends at the corner of Blairsbury and Edgewood Roads Northeast. Pex has been growing with the Cedar Rapids area since 1956.
Everyone deserves a great insurance agent, not just any insurance agent. Paul Draper, your Pekin insurance agent at Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion, has the experience and knowledge to provide you with top-notch insurance coverages. Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion has been insuring individuals like you for over 100 years. Dependable protection from Pekin insurance agent Paul Draper at Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion, an agency you know and trust.
Ball. And it jettisons past Greg Porter at third, and that's a leadoff single for Tim Lemon. Tim Lemon has the 13th hit of the day for the Peoria Chiefs, who are looking to beat the Kernels for the 8th time in 11 games this year. And the batter is Andy Ginther. A strike is in to Ginther. Boy, has it turned out to be a beautiful Sunday. Ball 1 is low to the batter. Ginther has singled home a run, walked and scored. Peoria has scored in every inning but the 2nd, 4th, and 8th. Matt swings late and fouls one off to the right. Tomorrow, we'll open a 4-game series with the Beloit Snappers. A curve, and Ginther fouls it into the screen. And the count remains 1-2. We have a special reason for you to come to the game on Tuesday. And we're looking for that. We'll find it. Ginther drives one into right. That's a base hit. And Lemon goes to second. Andy Ginther lined a single into right field. And that's the 2nd straight hit for the Chiefs in the 9th inning. They're not done yet. Well, the great feature I was talking about, Allie, is on Tuesday night.
Tuesday night is 2 for Tuesday drink specials. Get 2 of your favorite cold refreshments for the price of 1. We have 2 for Tuesday nights feature domestic draft beers.
A high pop foul and a heck of an effort by Jake Mathis, giving his body up, sliding on that hard warning track material in front of the Colonel first base dugout, but Jake just couldn't get there. A foul pop, strike 1 to Matt Lemancic.
Well, the domestic draft beers are 12-ounce cups, and they're 2 for $2.50. Bottled soda pops are also 2 for $2.75, and the bottled waters are 2 for $2.50.
That's 2 for Tuesday. This Tuesday night, the gates open at 6. Brett Cimarelli to Lemancic. Ground ball to third. Porter with a good play, throws to second out. Weed to first, not in time. And a hard hit smash by Matt Lemancic results in Andy Ginther being forced at second. 5-4, Porter to Weed. And advancing to third is Tim Lemon. Reaching on the fielder's choice is Matt Lemancic. First and third, one out. Top of the ninth inning. Here's Mike McCoy. He drew a bases-loaded walk back in the Chief 3-run seventh inning. Ball one in the dirt from Cimarelli. And then, Allie, a noon game to end this homestand on Thursday.
That's right. It's KZIA, lunch at the ballpark. So come on out on your break from work or, just play hooky all day if you want. Come on out and enjoy the noon game.
Oh, does that sound inviting? What if it would be as nice as it is today? Boy, those weathermen have really disappointed me. And that's a slider low or at the knee, strike one. And I shouldn't, again, I'm saying that jokingly, that weather is the hardest thing to predict, right up there with baseball. But all we heard was that we were going to get a torrential thunderstorm last night. We had to call off our Boy Scout camp over, and turned out that everything, I guess, went south.
Yeah, not a drop of rain last night, was there?
No.
I don't think until this morning we got anything.
Yeah. Ball 3, or now ball 4, as Cimarelli has issued a walk to Mike McCoy. Bases loaded, one out for Reed Gorecki. It looks like the Kernels are going to slip to 8-10 in the first half and have to make up some ground in the standings by playing well in the next 4 here at home against Beloit. Reed Gorecki looks at one low and away from Brett Cimarelli. We're sure glad you've spent part of your Sunday afternoon with us here on the Zone. Sunday night baseball will come your way. Allie, I didn't have a chance to check what Sunday night game ESPN will be airing tonight. What's your State Farm Major League scoreboard say for a night game? Uh-oh, a pitch gets past Dvorsky and the runners hold. That's a real gesture of sportsmanship by the Chiefs. Oh, we'll be airing the Diamondbacks and Dodgers later tonight here on the Zone. Arizona taking on Los Angeles at Chavez Ravine. Joe Cunningham Jr. instructed his runner at third, Tim Lemon, to anchor down. He could have scored, but there's so much respect that you have to show this game of baseball, and one of the degrees of respect is you never ever try to rub it in against an opponent. The Kernels have called off the dog several times this year when we've been well ahead in the game, and Joe Cunningham Jr. did the same moments ago. A ground ball foul past third, and the count is now full to Reed Gorecki. Well, Allie, I know a lot of folks would be eager to know that, or would be interested to know that, a high fly ball into shallow left. Kevin Jenkins underneath it. Kevin has it, and again, the runner holds at third. Kevin almost had that ball slip out of his mitt, but he hung on to it. Tim Lemon could have scored, but they held him at third, and there are 2 out in the Chief ninth inning. You give so much time to the Kernels, probably over 40 hours a week, and yet you're working 2 other jobs. And one of them I know our listeners would be intrigued with is involving cancer patients.
Yeah, we called the State Health Registry of Iowa, and we work with the National Cancer Society and American Cancer Society and all that stuff. And Iowa actually represents the agricultural Midwest when you hear about cancer statistics and things like that.
A ground ball up the middle. Ibar has it. He'll throw from behind second, and he throws out Travis Hansen. Well, I want to pick up on that, Allie. And I'm speaking very sincerely because my father passed on from cancer, and I want to have a greater understanding of what the registry is and what it means that we're in the agricultural center of the cancer, or the horrible disease of cancer. In the ninth inning for the Chiefs, no runs, 2 hits, no Colonel errors. Peoria leaves the bases loaded. They've stranded 10. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Peoria 12, the Kernels 4.
Are your debts threatening your peace of mind? Here are the danger signs. If you borrow from one credit card to pay off another. If you're maxed out on 2 or more cards. If you can only afford to make the minimum monthly payment. But now there's a nonprofit organization that can help you reduce your debt load and get caught up again. It's called AmeriDebt. Call them at 1-800-262-4800. AmeriDebt can help you reduce your monthly payments as much as 50%. They'll negotiate with your creditors for you, eliminating or reducing your interest rates. And they'll consolidate your bills into one lower monthly payment. Even if you're not a homeowner, even if you're way behind, AmeriDebt can help. If you have more than $2,000 in debt, call AmeriDebt now for a free debt consultation. 1-800-262-4800. It's completely confidential and there's no obligation. If you've noticed the debt danger signs, or if you're just tired of worrying about your bills, there's help waiting. Call AmeriDebt now, 1-800-262-4800.
If you don't stop by one of Jungi's 4 great locations, how will you know you got the very best deal? Stop in today at Jungi Lincoln Mercury Isuzu in Cedar Rapids, Jungi Ford and Jungi Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Center Point, and the new Jungi Chevrolet Pontiac in Anamosa. Now, 4 great locations, still one great name. Jungi.
We go to the bottom of the 9th, and the Kernels are trailing by 8. Brad Thompson, a right-hander, will come on to work the 9th inning. Jonathan Estes went 3 innings in relief of the starter, Donovan Graves. And in 3 innings, Estes surrendered 3 runs. On 3 hits, he struck out 1, he walked none, and he hit a batter. Jake Mathis has hit the ball well twice in 3 at-bats, flying out to deep right center, flying out to deep center. Jake is batting 7th in the Allen Motor Company order, and he's facing right-hander Brad Thompson for the first time. Thompson on to pitch the 9th inning. 12-4 Chiefs. Ball 1 low and away. Allie Lensko, our broadcast assistant, you can pick up where you left off on telling our listeners what you're involved with down in Iowa City in that, I don't know if it's a clearinghouse, well, you explain it.
Well, what we do is we work basically with the doctors in the hospitals to find out who it is that has had cancer. And in Iowa...
A tap to the right side and down to get it, booting it, picking it up and throwing Jake out is Tyler Durham, 1 gone in the Colonel 9th inning.
Like I was saying, in Iowa, cancer is reportable to the state. And I know a lot of people know the HIPAA regulations, which were just passed by Congress, protecting all your medical information and all that stuff. But we are actually a state health authority, not an entity, which means we override HIPAA.
Okay.
So we get a lot of questions on confidentiality, things like that. And everything's kept very confidential, but it is reportable to the state.
So you're telling me that if a person is diagnosed with cancer, their doctor knows that. Does the doctor then call you?
No, it's actually done. We have our own abstractors and people that work for us that go out to the hospitals and send us back the information.
Okay.
So anyone who has been diagnosed, treated, or lives in the state of Iowa at the time that they have cancer, their information is sent to us.
Okay. Why is that important?
Why is that important? Just so that these statistics and things can be checked up on, and we can follow people's treatment.
Cure rates and survivability.
And basically, the biggest thing that we help do is, we keep in contact with physicians, and we're finding out which treatments are working better with which disease types of disease.
Well, that's crucial. Alex Dvorsky dumps a single into right. It's the Colonel's 7th hit of the game. Alex is second. He's reached base for the 4th straight time. A Texas League single nestled in between the retreating second baser Tyler Durham and the right fielder Jet Heilman. Alex Dvorsky has his second hit. It's the 7th for the Kernels this afternoon. Boy, Allie, I didn't realize that's a huge importance.
Yep,
to find out what treatments work, to see how long people live with certain cancers, to see which ones are conquerable.
Yep, and we do all of our follow-up. I work in the follow-up department. We do it with doctors and the patients themselves, and hospitals. We do it a lot of different ways, and we just try and follow these people for the rest of their lives. So,
boy, that is such a great. You talk about a service that is vital for the government to perform. You must understand how important it is. Strike one called to Kevin Jenkins. Thompson delivers low, ball one. Kevin, 0 for 3 this afternoon. The Kernels have been out hit 14-7 and trail this one 12-4. Allie, how many people work in Iowa City in your endeavor?
My department follow-up is basically student run. We have our full-time, boss or whatever, and she's full-time, and then there's last semester we had 14 students working part-time to do all the follow-up. Then there's a whole huge department that actually does the data and, the more specific, like what we do helps the people who are there with PhDs and stuff find people who have had certain circumstances and then do more in-depth studies with those people. So our basic general follow-up helps them to pick candidates for more in-depth studies.
Oh, now I understand, and now I understand how vital it is. A bouncer to second. There won't be a double play. Safe is the runner going from first to second. Mathis out is the runner, the batter, Kevin Jenkins. He's thrown out by Tyler Durham, the second baseman. Durham tried to tag Jake Mathis as Jake flashed in front of him. He missed. Otherwise, it would have been a double play. 12-4 Peoria. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning, and Quan Cosby bats. Quan had an RBI single in the Kernel 3-run seventh inning. The pitchers of record are the starters. Donovan Graves for Peoria. He's trying to up his mark to 7-4. Joan Toledo, foiled in his second straight bid to win his ninth game, is on the hook for the Kernels. Quan Cosby takes high and away. Well, Allie, with your work there at the... Again, could you repeat the name of the institution?
It's the State Health Registry of Iowa.
At the State Health Registry of Iowa, have you had an interest in possibly going into medicine?
I originally went to school to be athletic trainer and was pre-med when I started at Iowa.
Wow.
Took a whole bunch of science classes my freshman year and...
Didn't enjoy it?
No, I decided I don't think I can do this for 4 years.
Yeah.
And the athletic training program at Iowa is really difficult. They only accept 15 students every year.
Yes.
And I know that there were some people trying to get in as juniors still, and I didn't want to have to be a junior and choose a new major because I tried for 2 years at something and didn't get accepted,
Yeah.
So I was very interested in going into medicine, and in high school I did a hospital rotations and did a class that we did, went to the hospital all the time, and so that's what I was really interested in originally.
Yeah, originally, and we all can say that in our lives. Originally I was in a strike two to Quan, now a swing and a miss, and this afternoon ends with a strikeout. Quan Cosby down on strikes, and in the ninth inning for the Kernels, no runs, one hit. There were no chief errors. The Kernels leave a runner. We stranded 6 in losing the rubber game of this series to Peoria 12-4. The Chiefs congratulate each other between the mound and second. Peoria lifts their second half record to 12-6, and the Kernels drop to 8-10 in the second half. 12-4 Chiefs, totals, highlights, and more coming your way next on the Kernel Curtain Call.
On the outside, everything looks fine. But on the inside, an unseen enemy is plotting the destruction of your home. Termites. Termites can be deadly to your home unless you fight back with certified pest and termite control. Yes, termites have made their way to Iowa, and they can cause extensive damage to your home before you even know they're there. It takes a trained professional to look in all the right places. Don't risk your home. Call the experienced, licensed, and insured experts at Certified Pest and Termite Control. 1 in 5 homes inspected have shown signs of termites. Certified offers guaranteed inspections and a 10% discount for seniors. Locally owned and operated, Certified carries a full supply for the do-it-yourselfers. Look for the giant ant at 1141 16th Avenue Southwest. Don't take a chance. Call Certified Pest and Termite Control today.
the Kernels Curtain Call, right here on The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Kernels game, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on The Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Well, a lot of fun was had here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, and a lot of kids are staying around to have more fun as they're about to run the bases following the rubber game of a 3-game series between the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals, the Peoria Chiefs, and our Kernels, the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the defending world champion Anaheim Angels. Unfortunately, Peoria dominated this game from start to finish, and they wind up not only winning 12-4, but winning the rubber game of the series. Peoria beat us 8 out of 11 times this season, and thankfully, I don't think we'll face them again in the regular season, but hopefully we'll get a chance to get back at them in the postseason. This afternoon, Toledo was trying to win his 9th game of the year, and he was up against a right-hander, a 6-game winner for the Chiefs, Donovan Graves. Peoria jumped on Toledo and did so in the first inning. Jean certainly pitched well, but the Kernel defense was not good this afternoon. We committed 5 errors, 4 in the 3rd inning. In the first inning, with 1 out, Mike McCoy reached on an error committed by Eric Ibar after Reed Gorecki tried to bunt his way on, and that was foiled by a catch behind home plate by Dvorsky. Travis Hansen walloped his 6th home run of the year, a 2-run clout, just clearing the left center field wall over the green padded wall over the 378 mark. Peoria led 2-0 after 1 inning. Matt Abram, though, cut that lead in half with 1 swing of the bat. Matt connecting for his 3rd home run as a Colonel with 2 out and nobody on. Matt belted one over the Randy Keel Humphness picnic pavilion and left. Then it was 2-1 Peoria. The Chiefs, though, really put this game away in the 3rd inning. They sent 9 men to the plate. They scored 5 runs on only 2 hits. Errors in the inning, a couple by Greg Porter, 1 by Alberto Callaspo, another by Eric Ibar. The Kernels committed 4 errors in the Chief 5-run 3rd inning, and Peoria led it 7-1 after 2.5 innings. The Chiefs went on to score a single run in the 5th, a single run in the 6th, and 3 runs in the 7th inning to build an insurmountable lead of 12-1. The Kernels took advantage of 2 Chief errors, 1 by their shortstop, 1 by their second baseman, got a couple of hits and scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. RBIs in the inning by Matt Abram and Quan Cosby. And again, the Chiefs helped us by making a couple of errors. The final line score for Peoria, 12 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors. They left 10. The Kernels, 4 runs, 7 hits, 5 errors. We stranded 6. The winning pitcher was Donovan Graves. He gave up the home run to Abram in the 2nd. That was the only run he gave up in 5 innings. He allowed 1 run on 3 hits. Graves, the winner, he's 7-4. The Colonel loser, Jean Toledo, he's now 8-5. The game was played before 2,443, including a great contingent from Cost Cutters and the Evans Enterprises family. And the game took 2 hours and 52 minutes. The Chiefs clobber the Kernels in the rubber game of a 3-game series 12-4. We'll take a break on the Colonel Curtain Call and listen to our Colonel plays of the game in a minute.
If you don't stop by one of Jungi's 4 great locations, how will you know you got the very best deal? Stop in today at Jungi Lincoln Mercury Isuzu in Cedar Rapids, Jungi Ford and Jungi Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Center Point, and the new Jungi Chevrolet Pontiac in Anamosa. Now, 4 great locations, still 1 great name, Jungi.
Anyone but me. Baby, can't you see I know what's right for me? Don't tell me wrong from right. I know just what I like. Yeah, call me crazy, I don't care. Come feel the joy all around. Each generation inside, they got their own designs. Come to shout it out. With that Toya Pepsi. Oh.
Colonel Curtin call. Kids continuing to pour out of the plaza seats down the right field line on this bright, sunshiny late Sunday afternoon. They're running the bases. It was Peoria 12, the Kernels 4 this afternoon. There's a young fellow that's been working very, very hard as a Colonel. His name is Quan Cosby, and we're going to highlight Quan on our Colonel plays of the game. In the fourth inning, with the Chiefs leading 7-1, they had a runner at second, Matt Lemancic, with one out. Reed Gorecki was at the plate, and here is our first Colonel play of the game. Here's a line shot into left or right center, a base hit, a runner will round third. He'll try to score. Quan's throw home may get him. He is. Ow! Ow! Jonathan Van Fleet with the emphatic echo and out. Jonathan and I were thrilled when Quan Cosby threw out Matt Lemancic on the base hit into center by Reed Gorecki. Quan threw out Lemancic at the plate, and that was definitely worth a Colonel play of the game. What a throw by Quan Cosby, and what a block of home plate by Alex Dvorsky. Our second and final Colonel play of the game took place in the seventh inning. The Colonels had scored 2 runs, had capitalized on a couple of Chief errors, got base hits from Greg Porter and Matt Abram, and Quan Cosby was at the plate trying to make it a bigger seventh inning for the Colonels. Abram at third, Dvorsky at second. With 2 out, the 2-2 to Cosby. Wrapped on the ground, base hit right field. Base hit right field. Abram scores to make it a 3-run inning. And on to third goes Alex Dvorsky. That's Quan Cosby's first hit of the day and his 14th RBI of the year. And that's why we made it one of our Colonel plays of the game. Quan Cosby's RBI single in the 7th made it a 3-run inning and cut the Chief lead to 12-4. That was the final here this afternoon. We're going to take a break, and when we return on the Colonel Curtin call, Allie Lensko, Colonel Broadcast Assistant, will have all the scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
What can I help you with here at Big Time Motors?
Well, I'm looking for a used car. I like this one. What's the price?
Listen, lady, I don't sell prices. I sell cars. But I guess if you must know, it's this.
Wow. That's $2,000 more than the one low price on the exact same car at Randy Keel Honda. And I didn't even have to ask them. Randy Keel has the prices posted for every car in their lot.
Well, we've got the best service department to stand behind our vehicles.
Really? Randy Keel showed me they're #1 in service and sales customer satisfaction. How do you know yours is the best?
My manager told me.
Thanks, but I think I'm going back to Randy Keel Honda to get the best price and the best service.
But I can throw in a free air freshener to put over the rearview mirror.
Nice try.
Randy Keel Honda understands what you need when you're looking for a new or used car. They post their prices clearly, so you don't have to guess, and they'll never pressure you. That's why they're #1 in service and sales customer satisfaction. And they just won the President's Award from American Honda. Come find out for yourself. Randy Keel Honda is on Center Point Road in Cedar Rapids, or you can visit them at randykeel.com.
12-4 Peoria. The Chiefs take the rubber game of this 3-game series. We'll continue our 7-game homestand with a 7 o'clock start tomorrow evening. More about that in a moment. We'll be hosting the Beloit Snappers, the first of 4, starting tomorrow evening. A lot of baseball has been played on the big league front, and thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Lanny Peterson, and Gary Schubat. Here's Allie Lensko with a look at all those scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
In the National League at Turner Field, the Braves took on the Expos and beat them 7-5. At Synergy Field, we had the Reds versus the Mets beating the Reds 7-5 as well. And then at PNC Park, we have the Pirates and the Astros. The Pirates beating the Astros 8-3. The Marlins and the Phillies played today at Veterans Stadiums, and the Marlins beat the Phillies 6-3. And at Miller Park, in the final score, we had the Brewers beating the Rockies 3-1. And right now at Wrigley Field, we're in the 9th inning, and St. Louis is ahead 4-1, beating the Cubs. So we'll see what goes on there. And at Qualcomm Stadium, we're still in the 3rd inning, and it's tied 1-1, Giants and the Padres. Then coming up tonight in the National League on ESPN The Zone is the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. In the American League at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees beat the Red Sox pretty handedly 7-1, and it took 10 innings for the Orioles to lose to the Blue Jays 5-3. At Tropicana Field, the White Sox beat the Devil Rays 11-5, and at the Metrodome It also took 10 innings for the Indians to beat the Twins 5-3. At Kauffman Stadium, the Royals took on the Tigers and beat them 5-3. And right now at Network Associate Coliseum, we have in the 7th inning, the A's leading Anaheim 4-1. And then also tonight at the ballpark in Arlington, the Rangers and the Mariners will be going on head-to-head. So 2 more games coming up tonight, and we have pretty much finals on everything right now. So.
Well, Allie, you pick up things so quickly, I think you're sounding like a baseball broadcaster. Dale Brote, would you agree? That was a darn good State Farm Major League scoreboard, Allie. Thank you. You really flowed well and was very clear, and you're starting to sound real comfortable with those scores. And I know it's not easy to learn everything when you're a little bit new to covering in depth like we do on these broadcasts, but great job, and we thank State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, Gary Schubat, and Dale Thompson for bringing us that look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Tomorrow evening, if you bring a non-perishable food item, you will receive a coupon for $1 off a club or plaza seat. This is part of our Erase Hunger campaign and Strike Out Hunger. We're part of a community-wide effort, a campaign to help collect 20,000 pounds of food for area food assistance programs. And Allie, some people may think, well, you know, Eastern Iowa is so thriving and prosperous, and for the most part we are, but everybody gets down on their luck every now and then, and those food places are a haven for people that need a temporary help.
There's always somebody in need, I think, you know.
There really is, and I know even in Iowa City where you live that there is a great need for food. Mm-hmm. And then, Allie, one more time on Tuesday.
2 for Tuesday drink specials. So you can get your domestic draft beers in 12-ounce cups for $2.50, along with your bottled waters are 2 for $2.50, and then bottled sodas are 2 for $2.75. So stop on out and enjoy our 2 for Tuesday.
And that's Tuesday evening. We'll have the dugout interview for you tomorrow at 6:40. Part 2 of our chat with Colonel Strength and Conditioning Coach Clayton Wilson will be tomorrow for the dugout interview. Then Allie's going to take over on this homestand. She'll do a few dugout interviews. You'll hear from her on Tuesday and Wednesday, or at least Wednesday and Thursday. We haven't set that schedule yet, but we know that Allie will enjoy hosting the dugout interview. Well, Deb Williams, thank you for all your great work. Deb was our in-studio engineer at 2nd Avenue and 5th Streets. We had a great turnout, almost 2,500, as Peoria won the rubber game of this series convincingly with a 12-4 victory this afternoon. Dugout interview time is 6:40 tomorrow evening. First pitch at 7 o'clock. Please help our hunger drive by bringing your non-perishable food items, not only tomorrow evening, but through the rest of the homestand, through the noon game on Thursday. For Colonel Broadcast Assistant Allie Lensko, I'm John Rogers. Remember, ESPN Sunday Night Baseball comes your way in just a couple of hours. This afternoon, Peoria 12, the Kernels 4. Have a great rest of your 4th of July weekend.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming, already in progress.